Terry Gannon along with Jimmy Dykes. And Jimmy, the zone defense has stopped Pepperdine, what at times can be a powerful offense. But on the other end, there's been no answer to the inside game.
No, Pepperdine has not had their quick shot ability in this ball game tonight because of the zone. And Gonzaga putting points on the board in a flurry right now against the club Pepperdine.
And the other part of the French connection.
Well, they're not doing any kind of a double down on Turioff, letting him operate inside right now, man on man, and he's too big of a man for Pepperdine to match up with. Quick off of his feet, has great vision, understands angles. That's why he's one of the top 30 players in the nation right now on the Wooden Award list.
Another inside bucket for Gonzaga, and it's a 14-point game. The Bulldogs 17-2 overall. Their only losses to St. Joe's and Stanford. That's not bad right now. I mean, you're looking at a team that could make a lot of noise in the NCAA tournament. This is no longer a Cinderella program.
No, they lost their slipper a couple of years ago.
Turioff doing some damage inside again, and Terrence Johnson's going to pick up the foul. He thought he got it clean. 7-0 in West Coast Conference. They have started 5 of the last 6 years 7-0. Only 2 losses you see there to unbeatens, and the insider RPI right now 13.
You know what, breaking them down on film, watching them in practice, I said in their film session this afternoon, they have everything going down the track right now to maybe get to the Final Four. And I say that because Mark Hughes' club is as deep as he's ever had out here. When they get everyone healthy, when Fox comes back in about 8 or 10 days, can finish a ball game, Terry, come tournament time with 5 good seniors on the floor. I don't think there's another club in the country that can say that. This club has balanced scoring, no real deficiencies that glare at you.
Turioff 3 for 3 from the floor, 6 for 6 from the line. He hasn't missed a shot anywhere tonight. You're right, though. With all the kids going early, the stars that go to the NBA, this is a program that keeps them around, and it makes a difference come tournament time. Jawara, the left-handed jump hook, and the foul by Corey Violet.
Jawara, a kid that likes to rhythm dribble on the post to get into his shot. And he has turned this club around in the last 5 ball games, averaging 22 points, had to sit out the first 17 games because the NCAA drugged their heels on deciding how many he should sit out.
Because he came over from France and played with a club team that at times, as they do over there, played against quote-unquote professionals.
Right.
Ronnie Turioff, the same situation. When he came over, they played together, as you mentioned, on the junior national team there, but he went to a 4-year college instead of a junior college. So before the rule changed, and it did in the NCAA, he got to play right away, whereas Jawara had to sit out.
This is the time of the year that I normally start talking about CSI, the Common Sense Index. That's exactly what the NCAA should have used on the ruling of that guy.
Knocked out of bounds, and will stay with the Zags. But those 2 players know each other extremely well, and they played together in France. Turioff originally from Martinique, moved to Paris when he was 15. Certainly had an impact on this program.
Boy, look at this kennel right here. Just the fans are right on top of you. You got to scoot the student section back a little bit when you're taking the ball out of bounds. Our first time here, and we are glad to be here because this is something special.
Now they're building a new one right next to this place, and that should be great, but I'm glad I got to experience the original kennel. Derek Rabiot, the freshman from Vancouver, Washington, he joins the party.
14 now of his 20 makes on the year from that 3-point line.
Biggest lead of the game, and it's been large since the get-go for the Bulldogs. Great hustle, but it goes back to the Bulldogs. Rivalry week presented by Cisco Systems. They're pretty good tonight already. Terry Gannon along with Jimmy Dykes, the West Coast Conference. The 2 teams that have dominated this conference for better part of the last decade. Since 1998, either Gonzaga or Pepperdine has won the regular season championship, or they have shared the title. The turnover and the timeout call along the sideline right in front of his own bench, Jawara, and they'll talk things over. So Pepperdine with the timeout. It'll be a 30. And while we have a moment, don't forget, tomorrow night on ESPN, Kia NBA shoot-around at 7:30. That leads it off, and at 8 Eastern, Orlando taking on New Jersey. And finally, we wrap up with the San Antonio Spurs taking on the Sacramento Kings. Spurs 0-7 against the top 4 in the West. Spurs Kings available on high definition. ESPN HD. Call your local cable operator, DirecTV, or Dish Network today. NBA Fridays on ESPN.
So you know what else I liked about Gonzaga, breaking them down, is they can play any variety of game you want to throw at them. They can speed you up, they can slow down, they can grind it in the half court, which is what I think they're best at. And then what else they've proven is they can win games when their strength has to go to the bench, maybe for a foul situation or injury situation. They have the depth to offset it. Some of the key factors I look at in teams when you get into March.
Well, they played without Turioff early. In their first loss, he didn't play, as a matter of fact, to St. Joe's. Tony Skinner, who's been an important part of this program for the last 4 years, has been out with a broken hand. He's back. He hasn't gotten into this game yet. The depth is the most impressive to me, as you mentioned. All 8 players who have played in the game for the Bulldogs have scored, and they have a big lead with 7:45 left until the half.
You'd expect a luxury sedan to have aerodynamic lines. But Lexus engineers went a step further. Dimpled panels were used on the undercarriage to reduce noise and lower wind resistance. So it's aerodynamic from every angle.
We tried a lot of different bar games. Many different bar games. Maybe too many. But nothing tops the Bud Light ESPN Quarter Bouncers Tournament. Compete locally and you could go to Vegas for the championship. And watch some other can't-miss games on ESPN's Big Monday.
Meanwhile, on the 4th floor...
When?
20 minutes ago.
An internet worm.
And a sneaky one, too. Came from the inside.
But the guys from IT said we're safe.
It was caught by the network, automatically. They say we're fine.
How does something like that get in here?
Hey, Daddy, I downloaded a new game on your computer. It's really cool.
protecting networks and everyone around them. This is the power of the network. Now.
You'd expect a luxury sedan to have aerodynamic lines. But Lexus engineers went a step further. Dimpled panels were used on the undercarriage to reduce noise and lower wind resistance. So it's aerodynamic from every angle.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball, presented by the Mass Mutual Financial Group. You can't predict, you can prepare. And in part by Lexus and their passionate pursuit of perfection.
Gonzaga up 33-16, and they've shot 71% from the floor so far. They've dominated. Terry Gannon back with Jimmy Dykes. What a program here, built on names like John Stockton and Dan Dickow, now Blake Stepp. Mark Few has a program that you cannot call a sleeper program or a Cinderella one at all anymore.
Like I said, they lost their slipper 3 or 4 years ago. Mark Few and his staff, they are dominating the Northwest right now, part of the United States, in recruiting. This is the place to go. And they just keep on building. They got a kid coming next year named Josh Heitfeld, who Mark says might be the most talented incoming freshman he's ever had.
John Stockton, you saw in attendance here. His jersey retired and out in the hall. Doesn't hang inside the building here, but out in the hall. And we'll see if they put it up. I'd like to see it up in the arena next door when they open up play next year.
Man, I missed my chance to work out with John Stockton this morning at about 6:30. He and Mark Few worked out, and I missed my wake-up call. And I wanted to be here to say I worked out with John Stockton.
You had your chance. You could have been a stop. Kinniger picks up the foul. We talked about the new place next door, the new kennel, and it will hold about 6,000 people. The great thing about the program and what they've been able to build, every seat is already sold out. So that place will be as nuts as this one. They've lost 10 games here in this building the last 12 years.
That's amazing. And there's a lot of reasons to go into it. Yes, the crowd's right on top of you, but I tell you what, it's the talent that wears the red, white, and blue uniforms that have the most to do with it. And that consistent coaching staff on the sidelines. Programs for real. And I think they got a chance to play their way into maybe a number 2 seed. They usually get it put to them on Selection Sunday, but I think this year, because of who they've lost to and where they played those games, if they win out, I think there's a real shot at being number 2. Mark Few feels the same way.
Well, they're the 8th-ranked team in the country right now, and you look at their schedule, they got 5 of the last 7, including this one at home. Tipped up and good. A rare bucket off the offensive putback, Derek Grubb, with his 2nd bucket of the game, the sophomore from Texas.
Don't get a lot of those second opportunities against Gonzaga, plus 8 rebounds on the year for the team in white.
Now look at the side-to-side ball movement, step from the deep corner now. But Violet follows it up over Grubb, off the glass and in. Corey Violet having a monster year.
Just really impressed and intrigued with the combination of power and finesse that Violet has operating inside that lane.
You think they're dominating in the paint?
Oh, boy. I mean, they do it to everyone, with the exception of Stanford. This tells you how good Stanford is. Stanford bigs put a knot on the head of Gonzaga.
When McGowan can't get it to go, and Turioff ties him up. And on a possession arrow, it will go to Gonzaga.
We're going to talk about how good Stanford is. We were talking before the ball game. In their game against Oregon this past weekend, they scored 59 points in the second half. Chris Hernandez scored 22 of those from that point guard spot. They had 1 turnover on the road in the second half to come back and win that ball game. And you'll see them this Saturday against Arizona on ABC.
Oh.
Wow, what a game.
What are they, down 19 in that game at Matt Court, too?
Yes.
Tipped up and good. Violet going to do it every way you can on the offensive end here.
Yeah, that's just too easy to open up a pure lane like that to a great offensive rebounding club.
Grubb, a guy who averages less than 4 points a game with his 3rd bucket. Trying to keep the Waves in this on the road. But they haven't stopped anybody, Jimmy.
Not in this ball game and not all year. And they've given up 49% shooting from the field to the opponents, Pepperdine, and that's just way, way too high to win ball games. See the last trip for Gonzaga again. They spread the floor, they throw over the top of people, and they get on that glass. And I like how Mark Few teaches it. Don't accept being blocked off. They get an initial body on you, spin off of it, go to the top of people, but don't accept the block off.
Yeah, you mentioned Stanford, by the way. We got an update. 66-36 the score over Arizona State right now.
And they're for real. And Chris Hernandez is one of the top 4 or 5 point guards in the entire country.
They lose a player to injury. They've got somebody else to come off the bench. Jawara from the deep corner. That's been the only spot that's worked for them.
The short left corner and the deep left corner, the only place that Pepperdine has been able to knock down shots from.
Yakuba Jawara in double figures with 11, but look at that, 67%. When you allow Gonzaga to shoot 67%, it's over. Kyle Bankhead can shoot the 3. Grubb, and the foul. Sean Mallon's going to pick that up.
You know what, that's okay. I like that. I like a team that picks up 1 or 2 fouls a game, going over the top of someone on the offensive glass. Just like I like clubs, Terry, that get called for setting at least 1 move and screen a ball game. That means they're doing it.
If you're a front court player and you play 30 minutes in a game and don't have a foul,
that's
there's something wrong.
Something bad wrong.
Only the 4th team foul. Adam Morrison, a freshman now in the game, who broke the area scoring records of Sean Mellon in high school here in the Spokane area. Acker, straight away, no. McGowan, strong off the glass and the foul. Violet's going to pick up his 2nd foul, and Glenn McGowan with a strong rebound, the junior from Lemon Grove, California.
When the shot's taken, I don't care if you're playing man or zone, you've got to find people. And this time, all guys in the white jerseys are looking at the rim instead of getting their eyes down below rim level and finding an orange jersey to go attack. I don't buy into the fact that you can't rebound as good out of the zone as you do out of a man. All that means to me is you don't practice it enough and you don't make guys accountable. Mark Few will make guys accountable rebounding out of his zone.
This is about the time in this game where if you're Mark Few, if you get a timeout or have a chance to talk to your club, say, hey, guys, this is where you can't let up. Things have been too easy to this point, but remember, there's 4 minutes still left in the first. There's a long way to go in this game.
As poor a start as Pepperdine had, they would love to go in the locker room only 10 down, and they're kind of heading that way right now.
And this is what they can do. Terrence Johnson with the short jump shot, a 9-0 run for the Pepperdine Waves, and all of a sudden they're to within 12.
You know what makes Pepperdine scary is they're a good TV team. And what I mean by that is when the lights are on, national TV's on, it's a team that can really score, and that's what makes them dangerous.
Jimmy, as we celebrate our 25 seasons of college basketball, time to flash back into the ESPN archives.
Pepperdine with a 4-point lead now. Westfall open again. He pops the three, and he hits again. Gonzaga guards have come alive. Dickow for three. He got it. Dan Dickow loosening up. Watch out. Dan Dickow. Gonzaga leading by 10. Blake Step. Whoa! Gonzaga wins the West Coast Conference Tournament Championship again.
And it always seems to be Pepperdine and Gonzaga. Look at what they've done the last 6 years. All the first and the seconds. Last year, a fourth up there for Pepperdine, but that's an aberration.
You know what, I still remember the Sunday afternoon that Dan Dickow called me at my house after Selection Sunday, wanted to know if I had any idea why they were a lower seed than he thought they should have been, and I had no response for him. I think this year Gonzaga, if they win out, they're going to get the seed they finally deserve.
Morrison off the give from Turioff. Adam Morrison, who matched his career high with 20 against San Diego last Thursday. It's coming from all different directions for the Bulldogs.
Kid that also had 20 against Stanford. I like Gonzaga's bigs. They don't settle for the jump shot. They have an opening, boom. They attack that glass.
Gerrara down low with his French counterpart Turioff on him. McGowan, he can shoot it from out there and does. Glenn McGowan, who has made 23 pointers on the season. He's got 6 tonight.
I tell you, he's a kid that could play and get minutes for anyone in the country because of his versatility, his size. He can step out and shoot. Mark Q talked about him in length with me this afternoon, the importance of really covering this guy.
You know, Jimmy, you can say maybe not exactly that, but close to that about a number of players from Pepperdine. They just have not been able to put it all together on given nights. And Bankhead with a long three.
A guy that you forget about because of all the attention of Turioff and Violet and Step. But if you leave him open and give him time to measure it, he's going to drop it on you about half the time.
50% from beyond the arc for Kyle Bankhead on the year. And it's a 14-point game.
Yeah, if you put everybody in this conference in a white T-shirt and just watch them scrimmage, Pepperdine might have about 3 of the top 12 guys you would want in a shirt and skins game.
Doesn't always translate, though, on game night. Mallon,
oh, the
nice
footwork.
move.
The footwork, huh? Outstanding. Something that Gonzaga goes over time and time again in their individual workouts. Feel the defender, get your footwork in motion, and don't get in a hurry.
Von Mallon's got 6. It was a 12-point game until that last little break, and now a 14-point game. Nice little spin move on the baseline from McGowan.
Big fella can just toss it on you at times.
Turioff, forget about it. The dish from Blake Step.
I tell you what, they make you pay when you score on them, Terry. And what I mean by that is Blake Step will run it right up your backside if you don't run from offense to defense with your head on a swivel.
Turioff's got 16. He hasn't missed a shot anywhere from the floor or the line tonight. The follow-up by Grubb. He's having a good game. Derek Grubb, not known for his scoring. He's got 8 in the game. And the Zags will slow it down offensively. Johnson with his scramble out of bounds. He was the last man to touch it. So the Waves trying to stay close, maybe get a little closer before the break. Back to Spokane in a moment.
The island calls out to the NFL's best. These barons of the breakaway.
He's gone.
Rulers of reception. The stores of the big play.
The guy can fly.
Pillars of protection.
Oh, man.
The Pro Bowl is on ESPN. Football is the great game. These are its greatest players. The 2004 Pro Bowl, Sunday at 7:30 on ESPN.
So just when I'm thinking, isn't there a car out there I could get excited about? Wham! There's this car with all this stuff. Then as I'm thinking, now here's a car I could see myself in. Wham! There's this other car with all this stuff. And just as I'm thinking, how could this possibly get any sweeter? The all-new Mazda 3 and Mazda 3 5-door.
rethink what's possible.
How does free sound? That's what you get during the buy one, get one free sale at Delbert's and the Edition for Big and Tall. Here's how it works. Buy any long sleeve sports shirt or sweater, get one free. All outerwear and leather coats, buy one, get one free. Choose from a select group of dress and casual trousers, dress shirts and shoes, buy one, get one free. Need a suit or sport coat? You'll find a great selection at half price, including Big and Tall. But hurry, the buy one, get one free sale ends Saturday, February 14th. Delbert's and the Edition for Big and Tall, downtown Arthur.
Here's what's playing this month on Insight's On Demand TV. You can start any movie anytime you want.
You're either SWAT or you're not.
Even pause, rewind, and fast forward, all with your Insight digital remote. No VCR or DVD player required.
This is awesome!
Why are they off to you? On Demand TV, only on Insight Digital Cable. What's your Insight?
Chris Davis along with Jay Billis and Steve Lavin coming up on the Budget Halftime Report. The undefeated Cardinals trying to stay that way. Earlier tonight on ESPN2, an overtime classic won by Duke in Chapel Hill, Steve.
Yeah, Mike Krzyzewski, he's had many fine hours. I think this season's one of his finest hours as a coach.
And North Carolina, I thought, grew up a lot in that basketball game. They didn't win it, but they really played well defensively, especially in the second half. That'll go a long way to winning games in the ACC if they play like that.
We'll also deliver the latest on the Maurice Clarett situation as soon as you guys come back to us in just a little while.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Gonzaga up 48-34 over Pepperdine. And Jimmy, they've done anything they wanted to do offensively.
Watch Blake step when he brings this ball up. He doesn't read his defender. He reads the shadow defender behind. And 34 in orange right there, Diarra, has no idea where the ball is. Steph reads it and then just attacks the glass, and the easy 2 points for Turioff. That's what I talk about when you run in transition. You better get your head on a swivel, find your man, and stop the basketball. And was it just me, or did Jay Billis have a little extra glow about him right now with that Duke win?
I think he was very, very fair and open-minded about the entire event.
I think he had a glow, as he well should.
I'll have to watch again. The Zags is dominating in the paint. This is the man that's led the way, although he loses it this time. Ronnie Turioff's been perfect on the evening.
30 of their 48 points have come in the blue area of the floor for Gonzaga.
McGowan spinning in the lane, draws the foul. So you get a little glimpse of what they can do offensively. And Pepperdine started just awful from the floor. 3 of 12, but they've been 11 of 18 since.
You know what I like about Gonzaga is more than just a couple of things. First of all, they play extremely hard. Now, to take it one more step, this kid at the free throw strike, McGowan, he plays extremely hard. Every time I watch him on film, watching him in person, he gives 40 minutes of effort.
Second leading scorer in the West Coast Conference. Earl Knight comes back in for the Bulldogs, but McGowan was out last year, all but one game, and got a redshirt year from that with a knee injury and a blood clot in his arm. So a comeback year for him this season, and a big one. Under 30 seconds until half.
An experienced club. You would expect them to know how to manufacture their last look here and work the clock late in the game.
Got to believe Blake Stepp's going to touch the ball at some point in this possession.
Look at that open floor offense they got going right now. No post. Now they trigger it with about 8 seconds to go.
There goes Stepp right by Johnson. No call, even though there was a lot of contact. And out of bounds, they'll have an even 5 to try to get a bucket with it.
5 on the game, 3 on the shot clock. And Zags are the team, that kind of team that they have scoring out of bounds plays.
Yeah, possession never changed, so the shot clock does not reset. Morrison, little medium range jump shot. Adam Morrison with the bucket as time runs out here in the first half. So the way the first half started, it ends. But the biggest lead was 21. Now it is down to 14. So Gonzaga's won 5 straight in the series, and Paul Westfall's club got some work to do in the second half. Coming up, the Budget Rent-A-Car halftime report. Reese Davis, Jay Billis, and Steve Lavin. Guys?
Iguodala a lot stronger, kind of that wiry shit. Watch him bounce Catley off of him. A little reverse move and then elevate. You're not going to block that. Locates and knocks it down.
This is a game, Marcus, that has had incredible energy from the fans here at Haas Pavilion, the players on the floor.
And it's a game played at a much faster pace than Cal is used to. And they're holding opponents down to about 63 points a game.
Ibaka rolls it off the side of the rim. Oh, with the rip. Sticks it back up, no, and Hassan Adams is fouled by Marquise Catley. It is Catley's second foul.
Another miss for Cal. And once again, I'm looking at the body language of the Cal Bears, especially the younger players, to see how they are affected. I mean, their confidence level is slowly dropping down a notch here, a notch there. You know, Arizona, I mean, these guys have been in this situation before, especially Iguodala. He wants the basketball.
Mladenovic trying to take his man. Ibaka with the strip, and I'll tell you, Marcus, I did not see skin hit skin. I thought Ibaka had a clean steal.
I don't think Dave Libby, the official, saw it either. I thought it was more of an anticipation call. Little jab, little dribble. I mean, that's nothing but basketball by Ibaka.
And Ben Braun pleading his case. Instead, it's foul number 3 for Ayinde Ibaka.
You got Shamir and Mladenovic really pounding each other inside as the physical level of the play picks up on the interior.
Let's see how the top 2 teams in the country are doing. Duke beats North Carolina in overtime by 2 points, 83-81. Stanford humiliating Arizona State 72-47.
Not so much for my hunch. Arizona State. I thought Arizona State had a chance to.
You know what? They have the X factor. You know who the X factor is? Nick Robinson. He can play any position, and I'll bet he had a terrific game replacing Matt Harrius and Justin Davis at that power forward spot.
And Laddick had been struggling. I bet he probably got himself back into a groove shooting the basketball.
The hot Tamir sits down.
Right now, you have to execute your offense. So the double screen plays have been pretty good to Richard Midgley. And they will run it again. A.J. Diggs.
Cal has missed their last 6 shots, and the team they have in the 4 outside Midgley and Cole won't give you that much offense. Toe takes it himself, and there's Shakur fighting for the rebound. A 3-on-2 break.
I talked about Shakur with the ability to pass, coming down at full speed. He did a great job with the touch pass. Andre Iguodala kind of bobbles it, but finds it and drives it home.
You know what I love about Shakur the most? Whether something bad happens or good happens, same poker face. He is Mr. Cool, and look at Mr. Cool's pass to a high-leaping Andre.
ATA wants to send you to your favorite destination. Presenting the ATA Sports Fan Getaway Sweepstakes. From now through March, you can win 2 tickets to anywhere ATA flies in the continental U.S., including New York, San Francisco, and Florida. Then in April, we're sending 1 lucky winner and a guest to Hawaii. To enter, log on to fsnchicago.com or look for the entry form in the Chicago Sun-Times. Then, watch Fox Sports Net to see if you've won. The ATA Sports Fan Getaway Sweepstakes, brought to you by ATA and Fox Sports Net.
With Insight Digital Cable, if you'd like to make that mind-body connection whenever you want, Yoga Retreat on Magrac is your oasis. Relax, re-energize with our yoga masters. Pick workouts for every level. In your home, anytime you're ready. And Magrac has more to discover. 20 video magazines, yours at the touch of a button. Magrac, available on Channel 99 at no extra charge with Insight Digital. Call now.
Care One Debt Management Program. It is your path out.
The people who provide Care One credit counseling services know how to help you get out of debt and get on with your life.
People are truly amazed when they call us and they see what we can do to help.
Look for a solution today.
Call us because we can do amazing things.
Talk to the people who can help, to the people who care. Call or visit online for Care One credit counseling today.
Care One for you.
What a game here in Berkeley. 123 points scored and still 13:05 left. Sterling Marlin was a NASCAR throwback that endured years of bad luck, near fatal wrecks and death threats. Through it all, he kept his eye on the checkered flag and came out on top. Beyond the Glory takes you inside the hidden world of sports' biggest stars. Sterling Marlin, Beyond the Glory, Sunday at 9, right here on Fox Sports Net.
Well, Arizona had to be worried when Channing Frye went out with his 4th foul at the 16:43 mark. But since that time, Arizona has gone on a 9-0 run, and Cal hasn't made a shot. They're 0 for 7. And I'll tell you, Radinovich is doing a pretty good job defensively on Poe.
Doing a nice job, just kind of getting in his way, pounding his. Now Poe is defended by Hassan Adams inside.
And Adams will pick up the foul.
That's a smart move by Hassan. Get the foul, get it out, get me off him.
3rd foul on Adams. Remember, 4 fouls on Channing Frye. They lose a lot of rebounding with both Frye and Adams out of the game. And I'm wondering if Lute Olson would go to Kirk Walters, the freshman, who's had an excellent week of practice.
Looks like he's going zone right here. 1-3-1 zone.
Midgley missing the 3. Diggs chases down the loose basketball.
Some of the energy and effort that the Arizona players were lacking in their losses to SC and to Washington. But again, the 1-3-1 zone corner jumpers will be there for the taking. Get Midgley in the corner.
Midgley stays out top, though. They work it to the corner. Marquise Catley with the fade. It does not go. There's Poe again. Oh, he's been a monster, and he accepts the foul. But for Leon Poe, it is his 10th rebound of the game. His 10th double-double of the year.
With no Channing Frye, watch Leon Poe just work the offensive glass, kind of leaning on Andre Iguodala. Great timing to release him and then pursue the offensive rebound. And he's so strong, he didn't have to push you hard to get you out of position inside.
Poe has made 7 of 11 from the floor, but only 1 of 2 from the foul line. And Leon Poe for the season is at 63% and gives his team a 4-point lead. We are at Haas Pavilion in Berkeley, California, for California hosting the number 12 team in the nation, the Arizona Wildcats. Steve Physiak, Marcus Johnson with you. Arizona down early 12, now coming back, and Iguodala has it ripped. Radinovich gets it back. He did not charge, and Diggs is fouled over the back by Iguodala.
Iguodala got away with an illegal dribble out here, a little hesitation move, but just a lot of contact inside. Olsen wants a foul. There's a little hesitation move there. Contact stripped. Marquise Catley, no foul call. Is Radinovich maybe offense, maybe defensive block, who knows? But right there, Iguodala over the back of A.J. Diggs.
And after a flop by Poe, if Radinovich just gives him a pump move, he has an easy lane to the hoop.
Yeah, just a little bit too anxious. A great story on this kid, A.J. Diggs. He's a senior out of Long Beach. Instead of working out with his teammates this summer, he went to a college summit in Princeton, New Jersey. 500 applications, 30 college students selected. He was one of them. Public Policy Institute of America Summit. And he says he wants to get into politics. He wants to be mayor of Long Beach one day.
Good for him. Well, he loves to visit, and there's a rebound. It is controlled by Arizona. California has a 6-point lead. Stoudemire, well defended by Diggs.
Nice.
Gets around him and a pick. McGuire. We had a foul out on the right wing.
Yeah, A.J. Diggs, he's going to make a good politician. He's got those sneaky hands, those quick, sneaky kind of hands, you know.
Don't go there.
He is going to make a great politician. Don't turn your back on him. Don't turn your back. The pilfer from behind, A.J. Got to watch him at all times. But a terrific energizer for this Cal team, and it has been just a pest on defense. That's the kind of stuff he does best. Just get in there and get in the way.
A.J. Diggs missed the front end of the bonus situation. Arizona has it. Shakur picked up his 2nd foul on that last defensive trip. Adams elect to get him posted. He's working over Marquise Catley. Strong to the hoop. No, it will not go. And there is Iguodala rolling it in.
Now, he is really taking it upon himself. This is one of the better games I've ever seen him play offensively. Assertiveness, making things happen inside. And in terms of making something happen, the Golden Bears need to make something happen, missing their last 10 shots.
Iguodala now with 17 points. He's coming off a 15-rebound game against Washington State in their last win. Only 4 rebounds in the game tonight.
That's the shot you want. I mean, we got Midgley just kind of floating up on the perimeter, I'd run him corner to corner. That's where your open jumpers are.
Shakur with the jumper. And again, it's a 2-point game. Here they come.
Yeah, here they are. Here they are. Knocking on the door.
The last time Arizona was this close, the score was 11-9 in the first 5 minutes of the game. Arizona has never led tonight at Hobbs. Oh, what a tough shot! Dominic McGuire.
The long, lanky freshman out of Lincoln High School in San Diego. Watch the body control, take the bump right there. Still able to gather and find the little angle on the backboard and knocks it down and one.
And that's the 4th foul on Hassan Adams.
Wow.
Adams with 4, Channing Frye with 4. The free throw good by Dominic McGuire.
And Arizona coming back in this game, and a big reason for that is the play of the chosen one, Yaka, the freshman, Mustafa Shakur, and also the double-edged sword, Andre Iguodala inside, doing the work.
ATA wants to send you to your favorite destination. Presenting the ATA Sports Fan Getaway Sweepstakes. From now through March, you can win 2 tickets to anywhere ATA flies in the continental U.S., including New York, San Francisco, and Florida. Then in April, we're sending 1 lucky winner and a guest to Hawaii. To enter, log on to fsnchicago.com or look for the entry form in the Chicago Sun-Times. Then, watch Fox Sports Net to see if you've won. The ATA Sports Fan Getaway Sweepstakes, brought to you by ATA and Fox Sports Net. It's the 17th annual Fox Sports Net Sports Awards benefiting the March of Dimes. Chicago's premier players will gather for one special night. Scheduled to appear, Jocelyn Tebow, Marty Booker, Esteban Loaiza, Joe Borowski, Jesse March, and Jamal Crawford. Plus, Ryan Sandberg is presented with the Lifetime Achievement Award and meet an athlete who is truly an inspiration to us all. And it's all hosted by Tom Waddle. For ticket information, call 312-596-4722 or log on to marchofdimesillinois.org.
The Mid-Con Conference plays on Fox Sports Net. The best teams, the top matchups, incredible college basketball action. This week, don't miss a second as Western Illinois tackles with Centenary in a pivotal showdown. Saturday at 5 on Fox Sports Net.
Fox Sports Net wants you to see the Blackhawks live from the wildest section in the UC. Log on to fsnchicago.com for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Hawks Nest. Or to purchase tickets in the Hawks Nest, visit chicagoblackhawks.com.
The best damn sports show, period. After the game on Fox Sports Net.
70-65 with 10.5 minutes remaining in the second half. Arizona needs a guy like this from the Bank of America higher standards. How about Steve Kerr, one of the greatest three-point shooters in the history of the league? 57% he made in the 1987-88 year. That was the last, or actually the first season the three-point rule was put in. He made 114 in 1 year. Look at the great guards that Lute Olson has coached. I mean, from Kerr to Reeves to Stoudemire, Reggie Gary, Miles Simon, who won that national championship in '97 with Mike Bibby. Jason Terry was on that team, and Gilbert Arenas and Jason Gardner have been the most recent.
That is an impressive list. They just keep plugging in guys to fit their system, and it allows those players to flourish. Now a little 1-4 high post rub action for Arizona.
Well, Adams and Frye are on the bench, both with 4 fouls. Look at that move. Oh, man, did he step through quickly.
You saw that he had Richard Midgley on his back and just isolated him. And as you talked about the step through to get there, but he stepped through from about 7 feet away. That's that length of Iguodala and that explosion athletically.
A new career high for Andre Iguodala with 21 points, and a foul will be called on Iguodala. And again, Lute Olson's furious. His team has made 11 team fouls this half to only 4 by Cal.
Look at the step through, gets Midgley out of position, and then no one there. The Muehlner back on the back line that could even think about bothering the finger roll to the basket. And this is the Andre Iguodala I thought we'd see a lot this year. I mean, he's had a great year, don't get me wrong. He's been the triple threat, the assist, the rebounding, but he has the ability to put up some seriously solid numbers game in and game out.
Marquise Catley on the sideline. Dominique McGuire, he's the guy who ended that Cal stretch where they missed 11 straight field goals. So McGuire makes his first, but misses his second foul shot, and Iguodala has it knocked out of his hands by A.J. Diggs. Well, there they are. Poe and Tamir on the sideline, and Cal still leads by 4.
I mean, this is the time you're going to give them a rest. This is the time to do it. Just hope that your subs on the floor for Mueller and McGuire, Diggs, can kind of just hold the fort and prevent Arizona from one of their patented runs and just find yourself looking at a 5 or 8 point deficit if you're Cal.
Midgley or Vermeulener were guilty of the foul, and they're going to call it on Richard. That is his second personal foul, but somehow Lute Olson's got to get more offense from Salim Stoudemire. I mean, look at the foul situation. Stoudemire's not in foul trouble, but is 1 for 5 from the floor and only 2 points.
And a lot of that is also Salim Stoudemire. He's got to continue to be aggressive. He's got to do a bit better job freeing himself up for Midgley, but give Midgley some credit also. Traveling on Mladenovic. Got a good offensive possession.
The 10th turnover in the game for Arizona.
But you remember the very first foul of the game, Richard Midgley with the forearm shiver to Salim Stoudemire, kind of sending a message early. And he's played some very aggressive, very physical defense on Salim Stoudemire. And at this stage of the game, he has gotten into his head. It's worked.
Arizona going with defense of Chris Rogers, Salim Stoudemire. We have a whistle and a timeout called by Ben Braun. So he did not like something he saw after sending Leon Poe in the game. He calls a quick timeout. Well, Ben's got to like his future. This is a freshman group that looks terrific. Hey, on February 22nd, the world's best drivers return to Fox for the Subway 400 at The Rock. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon, and Tony Stewart lead the field for 17 weeks of high-speed thrills and excitement when NASCAR returns February 22nd with the Subway 400 only on Fox. Ben Braun has done a terrific job here at California, the second winningest coach in Cal history with 149 wins. And you see the 4 NCAA tournaments in 7 years. He's trying to go to postseason for the 6th straight season. He's had back-to-back-to-back 20-win seasons that has gotten him to the tournament. Before that, remember, he won the NIT tournament 5 years ago.
Got a nice job here, and especially just bringing in solid players from Joe Shipp to Brian Weathers, the guys that just graduated last year. This crop of freshmen they have in here now.
Ibaka, nice drive, spins it up to Dominic McGuire. They did not want that shot. He's more of an inside player.
And you got the wrong shooter shooting jump shots in the corner. There's Mladenovic.
Left hand. Pretty move and a nice feed from Chris Rogers.
Who is this guy? The first time we saw him, he was all perimeter, all long jump shots. His work tonight has been down dirty, in the box, down low.
Ibaka.
No, another terrible shot. And again, the freshman. Haley's taking some bad shots. McGuire, the possession before that. Ibaka with the runner, not even close. I mean, this is where Tamir and Midgley have got to assert themselves. So nice bounce past Chris Rogers and step through a little bit of a chicken wing hook inside by Mladenovic, but just an aggressive move.
He has 8 points now. Tamir back in the game, and when California has won this year, Tamir and Midgley have both played well. Here is Mustafa Shakur missing the 3. Poe with his 12th rebound of the game.
The problem with that shot, Mustafa, he had Tamir 6'10", 260 on the switch on the perimeter. His advantage is getting into the paint on that mismatch as opposed to settling for the long jump shot.
Midgley. But he moved driving to his right, and a foul will be called against Ivan Dragic. His second personal foul.
Cal does a good job using that double screen high. Now, it was Midgley coming off that double screen for jumpers before, but Stoudemire, Rogers have made the adjustment. This time they allow Midgley to be the ball handler. He uses that screen to turn the corner and draw the foul, gets to the free throw line.
Midgley, one of the best foul shooters in the team, just under 70%. Remember, they have only shot 62% on the year from the free throw line, while Arizona's #1 in the conference at 77%. But Arizona's the one committing the foul, sending Cal to the line, particularly in the second half.
I mean, Cal won for their last 14 field goal attempts. You don't want to foul. You beg them to shoot the basketball.
Iguodala against Tamir. He banks it in.
Boy, he looks good. I mean, this is a kind of a part of his game I haven't seen a whole lot of in the last couple of years he's been in college basketball. That medium range game with contact, able to finish.
continues to extend his career best now with 23 points for Andre.
I talked to Rodney Tension, their fine assistant coach. 7 shots a game. He told me they want him to take that in the first half, which he did tonight. So he's finally getting the message.
He's so unselfish. I mean, he's one of the top assist men in the league. Shot clock is down to 6. Midgley drives. Oh, dunks!
Yeah, you can't allow Midgley to penetrate off that double screen. And he did that. The defense got in a bad way. They had to react and adjust. Allow Leon Poe to get the slam dunk inside off the pass.
Shakur finds Iguodala. Find the hot man. Iguodala's hot, but Shakur makes the foul. And for Mustafa Shakur, it will be personal foul number 3 tonight.
At what point do you think about bringing Channing Frye back in the game? 7 minutes left. Here's Midgley. Watch him penetrate on the reach by Radinovic. Radinovic has got to keep him out there. You need some help if you're Radinovic, because Midgley is kind of low to the ground. He's quick with the basketball, but you just can't allow him to penetrate coming off that double screen, or you're going to be in for a long night with those kinds of feeds inside to the big people.
Marquise Catley, only a 44% foul shooter at the free throw line. He's 0 for 2 in this game, and he will miss his 3rd. As a team, they're just 11 of 18 from the free throw line. Arizona, that's one of their strengths. They are 9 for 11.
And the Wildcats doing a nice job with no Hassan Adams on the floor, no Channing Frye. Salim Stoudemire has given you absolutely nothing, and you're down 4 with a lot of time left.
Tamir with the return. He just played volleyball to himself for a 6-point fair lead.
And like the beheaded Ivan Radinovic on the play.
Looks like Radinovic got knocked in the eye.
I know, he got socked by the elbow. Blood dripping. They need to clean that up. But that was a meet Tamir.
And they'll bring back in Hassan Adams with 4 fouls. Will Arizona then go to a zone defense to try to keep Adams away from his 5th?
They will definitely take a look at that. It's been effective, the 1-3-1.
Time out on the floor. Tamir says they have it in them. Lute Olson trying to bring his Cats back on Ben Braun.
On February 20th, 2 men will settle their score.
I'll take a 7. It's 15. No way. Let's count them. 1 out of bounds, 4 in the sand. 9, you almost hit me. 10, you did hit me. That's when you said that curse that I've never heard before. 15 in the hole.
Ray Romano.
I'm running for the mayor of Mooseport.
Gene Hackman.
I'm running against the man installing my toilet.
Ah! Welcome to Mooseport. Rated PG-13. February 20th, only in theaters.
Can I cut in? Sure. You look just like my 3rd husband.
You look like a 10-10-987 user.
I tried 10-10-987 and it was just like you said.
3 cents a minute and 39 cents to connect to anywhere in the U.S.
And to Canada.
And Western Europe. No commitment, no monthly fees.
No sweat.
I can't believe it's 3 cents a minute.
No, we're going to keep dancing until you believe me.
Hey, can I get in?
Sure.
Do you have to go to the airport to rent from Hertz? Not exactly. There are hundreds of Hertz local edition locations all across the country, whenever you need a car locally. We also offer insurance replacement rates for when your car is in the shop. So come into your Hertz local edition, or we'll come and get you.
By 6 when this game began. We always ask Marcus Johnson who he wants to spotlight. You said you have a feeling.
Yeah, Andre Iguodala has had a terrific game, doing just about everything. And then for Cal, we also decided to spotlight Amit Samir because of that huge performance against Oregon State, and he has not slowed down a bit.
Our Kyocera game summary shows that Iguodala career best 23 with 5 boards. And you see what he shot from the floor. Tamir, 5 of 8 3-point range, 21 points. Iguodala has made 5 of his last 6 shots. Arizona has the basketball down 6, and Adams back on the floor. This is a small lineup they're going with. No Channing Frye, no Ivan Radinovic. At 6'7", Iguodala is their biggest player. Stoudemire Misses. He is 1 for 6.
Nice job defensively, Marquise Catley at 6'5". A tough defender for 6'1" Salim Stoudemire to shoot over even on the step back jump shot try.
They've done a tremendous defensive job on one of the top scorers in the league. Hamid Tamir misses DeFay. There's Shakur. Shakur, what a move, but they call a travel on Mustafa. And Lute Olson with his hands to his face can't believe the call.
I agree with Lute Olson. I mean, it's the ball fake. It makes it look like, I mean, you get 2 steps. Here it is. 1, 2, up. I mean, it just looks like you're covering so much ground that you have to be committing some kind of violation. But I thought that was just a pretty good play by the freshman out of Philadelphia.
6 minutes to go. Cal by 6. Arizona has never led tonight.
Son Adams, man-to-man defense against Leon Porter. He's going to get a lot of help. But if you're Cal, you got to go inside to the show. Here's that help I talked about.
And that was great help because he had to strip it from the strongest player on the floor, Leon Poe.
And that's a tough matchup for Hassan Adams. You know, with no fouls. You've got 4 fouls, and you got to try and deal with the big fella inside. And now it's time to get Channing Frye back on the floor. He's got 4 fouls, so, you know, I think you can just keep going inside to the ship.
Pick and roll from Leon Poe. Ibaka tries to go behind his back. Picked off by Stoudemire, and a foul will be called. That is team foul number 6 against Cal. 1 more, and they'll be in the bonus. 4th foul on Richard Midgley. Let's go back to the injury on Radinovic.
And you watch Meet Tamir right there, man. Just kind of clear through with the right elbow and take the right eye of Radinovic with him.
They've stitched him up, bandaged him. Radinovic can come back in. Yo, Adrian, yo.
The pick and roll, Iguodala's got to stay aggressive. They've got their best on-the-ball defender, Marquise Catley, out there. Does a nice job staying in front. See if Keith takes the challenge.
Shot clock at 10. Frye wants the basketball. Shakur will take the shot. It's short. Diggs picks it off.
Solid defensive possession for Cal. Started by Catley, and then Poe did a nice job against Shakur on the perimeter.
Do these young Bears have enough in them?
Well, you asked me, could they continue to shoot that well? You know, down to 35%. Arizona still holding steady at 54%.
Blocking foul against Arizona, and again Channing Frye in disbelief as he picks up his 5th foul, and the bench waves him good night.
Kind of a cheapie to pick up your 5th. I mean, there was some contact involved. Poe kind of stumbled around, but there's been a tremendous amount of contact this whole basketball game. Cuts him off there. You know, I just don't think that was a good call. In terms of that first angle, here's the second angle. You know, I thought it was just a question of Frye releasing, Poe stumbling. And the official calls the stumble as a foul. Because he stumbled, he thought he was fouled. Tough break for Channing Frye in Arizona, but they haven't played bad with Channing Frye on the bench.
They will stay small. Now, no, they'll bring in Ivan Radinovic. Excuse me. Radinovic, the 6'10 freshman from Serbia. And at the free throw line, Leon Poe. Leon Poe with 20 points. He knocks them both down. The lead is 8.
Look at Poe, Frye comparison. The rebounding 12-4. You know you have been in a war. I don't care who you are when you're going up against this show. He's the real deal.
Radinovic misses the 3. Adams high for the rebound. No foul from behind by Diggs. Adams. Iguodala sliding in. What will they call? It's a blocking foul against the Bears. And Diggs got smashed in the nose, Marcus. I mean, we have seen so much activity in that lane.
I'm glad we're on the sidelines. Here's Hassan Adams going to create, and there's Poe, you know, and I understand the official in that play. You know, Leon Poe is way too strong to get knocked back that far by that kind of contact from Andre Iguodala. Just a little bit too much of a flop on the part of Leon Poe.
Poe with 4 personal fouls now will get a breather.
told me that knee is about 75% of where it was. He's not as quick, not jumping as high, but still dominating.
It's a 6-point Cal lead.
Scary.
Stanford winning tonight, trying to stretch their record to 19-0 as they're beating Arizona State handily at Stanford. Tamir has it stripped. Diggs wins the battle.
Cal very tentative offensively. I mean, Tamir, your veteran, is junior but 24 years old.
Ibaka, that's not the good shot they wanted. Adams with the rebound. Stoudemire gets it ahead to Iguodala. He'll hold for 3 and miss. Stoudemire's there for the putback.
And you're factoring points. You're struggling from the perimeter. Turn yourself into a 6-1 terror on the offensive glass, Stoudemire. And Cal needs a good shot, obviously, this possession. Not a bad play. Salim trying to be aggressive, trying to produce another easy score for his team.
Second foul on Salim.
He's good at flooding the passing lane.
This will send Connor from Muehlner to the free throw line. And Connor is only a 63% foul shooter, but Cal has been at the free throw line 12 more times than the Wildcats. There's one. A remarkable game by Cal when you compare it to what happened in Tucson. Down 28 points at the break, losing by 20. But Muehlner makes them both, and it's Cal by 6 with 3.5 minutes left. Arizona has never led against the Bears. Fry fouled out.
And if 4 of their 5 guys are on at the same time, they're very, very dangerous.
That hasn't happened often this year, but you're right. Every coach is worried about this team.
Yep.
Because they know they have the offensive talent to get it done.
Most of the time, when you throw the ball to the guy at the rim, it's set up because of the attention of the big guy. This time it's Violet stepping to the ball and drags the defense, Terry, up the floor with him just enough to allow Turioff to sneak along that baseline. Everyone sees the finish of that play, but what sets it up is the guy diving hard to the ball right in the middle of the lane.
A moment ago, the 3rd foul picked up by Yakuba Jawara. They cannot afford to lose him if they have a chance to make a comeback. Here's Jawara at the other end. Slices through the double team, but they get the foul on the floor before the shot. Violet picked up the 5.
The Cardinals are running away with the Pac-10 Conference. Oregon's at 5-4. You'll see them against Oregon State this weekend on Fox Sports Net. Shakur, Adams, Iguodala, Radinovich, and Stoudemire on the floor for Arizona, which is down by 6 points.
Stoudemire trying to free himself, trying to be a factor.
Radinovich misses, and Dominique McGuire has the rebound.
I remember Radinovich when he was so effective, it was offensive rebounding, little left-handed jump hooks inside, doing his work inside. Now he's kind of drifted back along the perimeter and not being effective.
Stoudemire defending Ibaka. Working the clock 12. Shot clock down to 10. Ibaka may have to take it himself. Now he flips it up to Dominique McGuire. Shot clock's at 2. McGuire's drive will not go, and a rebound by Andre Iguodala.
Iguodala just controlling the game for the Wildcats.
Radinovich spin left. He does and misses the shot. And there's Diggs again. Timeout, California. The Cubs throwing up and becoming the Golden Bears on a night at Haas Pavilion. 2:17 left. Don't miss the series that's taken Europe by storm. It's high stakes, late night poker, and Fox Sports Net is the only place to find it every night. find out what's been keeping Europe up late as Late Night Poker comes to Fox Sports Net every weeknight at 10:30. Check local listings for the start time in your area. Well, Ben Braun has 4 freshmen, and tonight they've been the 4 aces in his late night poker matchup with Lute Olson's cats.
Yeah, he's done a nice job making all the right moves.
There's the game reset. You see the team foul situation. Arizona with like 14 team fouls. The possession out. If there's a held ball, the Bears will have it. So all of the edges, except for timeouts, favor California.
And a good move by Ben Braun. I think that timeout called. I think he just wanted to have Richard Midgley on the floor, get Leon Poe back into the game with a little bit more stability and confidence in his offense.
Poe playing with 4 fouls. He's doubled. Ibaka tries to get it back to him. Leon jump hook. Does not go, and the ball's knocked out of bounds by Iguodala. The shot clock reached 35 with just inside 2 minutes to go.
And that is a great matchup. Iguodala matched up against Leon Poe inside. That's length, that's athleticism, that's fierce warrior mentality.
And it has been a war tonight in Berkeley. Ibaka spins it down low. Amit Tamir misses the shot. Iguodala fires it down court. Stoudemire. They covered him up well. He'll take it in and score. It's a 4-point game.
I mean, the Bears want to use up the clock and milk the clock every offensive possession, but you still want to score the basketball.
Stoudemire. He's fouled.
Intentional. It's got.
It is an intentional.
Got to be. They didn't call it the first half. Haley against Iguodala, but that was another obvious, just kind of grab him up before he could make the layup. No play on the basketball whatsoever. But here's the defense by Stoudemire again, making himself a presence, struggling from the field, but doing it on defense. And then Ayinde Ibaka kind of giving the bear hug.
So 2 shots by one of the best foul shooters in the country, Salim Stoudemire, and then ball out of the side. He misses the first. A tough night for Salim Stoudemire. 3 for 8 from the field and 0 for 2 from the foul line. Radovic goes to the sideline with the signer. 1 of 2. But now a 3 can tie it.
A.J. Diggs back on the floor for defensive purposes. He is the guy that can get in there, get you a steal, get his hands on the basketball.
And there's your lack of experience. Remember, 4 freshmen, 1 sophomore among the top 6 players for Cal. 2 for 5 in games decided by 5 or less.
And you got Iguodala. He's got the definite quickness advantage. Hassan against 4, Iguodala against Amit.
They have Rodgers alone. His 3 misses. Ibaka one-hands the rebound. Poe slows it down wisely. Inside 1 minute to go.
Haley not a good free throw shooter. That might have been a good chance to foul. I mean, the coaches, it would appear, now they're going to back off and find out you don't want the foul. They were trying to get the foul a lot earlier in the shot clock, and the time they tell them to back off, the foul is committed. They're not a good job of communicating what the bench wanted done on the floor.
Well, they're in the double bonus, so it'll be 2 shots for Ayinde Ibaka, freshman from Oakland High School, a 67% foul shooter.
And at that point, I mean, Cal's not been lighting it up offensively. I think you just play a good, solid defensive possession. You're only down 3, just a 1-possession game. Now you're down 4, 2-possession game.
Haley is the man you want to foul. He's the 44% foul shooter.
Diggs.
Ben Braun may get Connor from Mueller in the game for him.
And Diggs is the guy you can look to find, put at the free throw line. He's had his troubles. Only shot 10 free throws for the season.
44.1 seconds left.
You want something going to the basket. You don't want to just start jacking up 3s because you're down 5. Too much time left.
Diggs chases Stoudemire. There's the 3. No good. Iguodala gets it back. Adams, full three. It's a 2-point game with 30 ticks left.
Hassan Adams, the much improved jump shooter for Arizona. There's the tip out. Iguodala going to spot his roommate right there. Hassan, his homeboy. You go ahead and knock it down, and that's what all that summertime work Hassan Adams has put in on that jump shot finally pays off for him.
Now for Artia Sarah. Meet a play of the game, Marcus.
And right there, breaking the pressure. Pressure was a key coming into the game for Cal to break. They did it. Mentally to pull the easy two. That's Akio Seta. Meet a play of the game.
This is what college basketball is all about. I mean, the energy in this building tonight. The bands.
Yeah.
The bands. The players giving it everything they have. An 83-81 Cal lead with 30 seconds to go, and the Bears trying to end a 10-game losing streak to a team that right now is ranked 12th in the nation. We'll have Arizona next week. Both of their games on Thursday and Saturday in the desert against USC and UCLA on Fox Sports Net. Our game reset. 3 timeouts left for Arizona, 1 for Cal. If there is a held ball, you see who gets it. Golden Bears. Washington State won 55-48 over UCLA. So the Bruins have now lost 6 straight. Big win for Dick Bennett's 5.
He lost like the last 50 years down at Los Angeles.
38 in a row. Unbelievable. Cal inbounds. They will have to call a timeout. And that's their final timeout of this game.
You can expect more of the same. The pressure from Arizona. Now Ben Braun needs to grab that clipboard and come up with a play to break this man-to-man pressure that Arizona's putting on.
So if you're Arizona, same kind of pressure. How will Ben Braun? He calls the timeout. What does he want his kids to do?
I mean, the key is to get the ball in the hands of a good free throw shooter on the floor. And so whatever screen, whatever play you come up with, you want to design it so that you've got a Midgley or whomever you feel most comfortable at the free throw line catching the initial pass, because Arizona's going to look to foul.
Poe is a 63% foul shooter. They took Catley out for Muehlner, but Muehlner this year is at 60. And last year he was at 58, but he hit 2 earlier, and he is 3 for 4 in the game.
I mean, Amit Tamir would be the big target and the guy that's hitting 77% of his free throws. I mean, Richard Midgley, you would think the outstanding guard would be a better free throw shooter, but he's around 68%.
California in desperate need of a victory. They know a win over number 12 Arizona would really help their RPI. They're the Wildcats at 6-3, 3.5 games back of Stanford, who is 10-0 and looking for win number 20 against Arizona, as the Cardinal will host the Wildcats this Saturday. So the Bears right now tied for 3rd place in the conference with Oregon and UCLA, but UCLA lost, so Cal has a great chance.
And Mark Smith, also a pretty good free throw shooter. Nice little trickery on the part of Ben Braun. That's the old school step out of bounds, throw it guard to guard out of bounds, and then get it back to the inbounder. And now the freshman Ubaka Allende. Ubaka, good pressure.
Diggs will come back in, so will Dominic McGuire. But they will have the man at the free throw line in Allende Ubaka, who is a 67% foul shooter, and he is perfect tonight. Arizona has never led in this game. It's a 3-point game. He can make it a 2-possession game right here.
Situational subbing by Ben Braun. You put in your defensive players, Catley, the 4 free throw shooter back on the floor. Then Dominic McGuire, long, athletic, quick on his feet, able to defend the 3-point line.
Allende Ubaka makes them both. The freshman has been outstanding tonight.
You don't want to give up the 3-point shot. Make him go to the basket, make him earn it.
Shakur backs his way in. Again, it's a 2-point game with 20 seconds to go, and Lute Olson will take time out.
The question is whether it's a 4 or 20 it's going to be.
It's going to be the short timeout.
And watch the freshman Mustafa, the chosen one. Shakur up and over A.J. Diggs defended it about as well as you could defend a play. But I just love the poise, the composure of the freshman from Philly, Mustafa Shakur, to knock down the shot to bring his team within 2.
14 points for Shakur on a night that his teammate Andre Iguodala scored a career-high 25 points to go with 8 rebounds and 3 assists. With the power, the strength of California, and their shooting was incredible in the first half when they shot 59%, led by 5 at the break, and held that strength throughout the second half.
Now, dare they try the same thing and step somebody out of bounds right there and get it right back to Ibaka? It worked the first time, but you would think Arizona would not go for the second time around.
They will foul Richard Midgley. So Richard Midgley, the sophomore from Burgess Hill, England, went over to Modesto Christian and took them within, one game of winning the state championship. He's a pressure player, and he is perfect in this game tonight, and Cal has made better than 80% of their foul shots in this game. Midgley makes the first. He needs the second for a 2-possession game.
Yes, indeed. But Midgley just a tough competitor. We had him against Stanford, shut out the first half, 19 in the second half. They made a tough game of it. Now the defensive substitution, A.J. Diggs back on the floor. You want to try and not give up the quick, easy 2 or definitely the 3-pointer.
Cal has been ice in the last 5 minutes of this game from the line. Now Iguodala looking for the 3. It's off. Adams chases it down. Just 7 seconds left. Shakur's got to fire. He does. And misses, and California pulls the upset. What a game in Berkeley, California. The Golden Bears end a 10-game losing streak to Arizona, 87-83. Make sure to tune in Saturday, as most of you will see Pac-10 doubleheader with Arizona State taking on this Golden Bear team, followed by Oregon State battling Oregon. Action begins 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. Check your local listings. For Marcus Johnson, I'm Steve Physiak saying so long, everybody from Berkeley.
Lastly, I've got an announcement that's going to make a lot of you happy. We're getting
49 and counting. Still a lot of time. Here's that same play out of the timeout. Well defended this time.
Pepperdine got right in the lane of Turioff and didn't give him a run at the rim. So give that initial stop to Pepperdine out of the timeout.
Turioff right by Jalara. The 2 Frenchmen playing against each other. And Roning getting the better end of it, but he's been quiet as of late.
Hard to stop him one-on-one. I would love to see a Emeka Okafor and Ronnie Turioff matchup come March. What a classic low-post battle that would be.
Turioff's got 20. McGowan with the miss. Violet, and he has now a double-double. 13 points and 10 rebounds in the game for Corey Violet. Parkview's club with patience offensively now. They're going to call Turioff for the push.
Again, the double doesn't come on Turioff near quick enough. And this is a guy that just, in this league, guarding him one-on-one, that low block, ain't going to happen.
44-14, the paint points. Short jump shot by Grubb. Nope, McGowan can't come up with it. Steph was looking for Knight in the lob. Now finds him in the corner.
Another thing about Blake Steph is he's durable. A kid is playing 35, 36 minutes a game.
Earl Knight just a little bit late and calling for the block. 7-0. The Bulldogs in the league. And Santa Clara with the win. They're 5-3, but Pepperdine right behind.
I think Steve Lavin made a good point that Gonzaga has to play through their conference tournament, which at that point can either knock them up another seed or knock them down another seed. But I still think this club is very capable of becoming a 2 seed, and if they win games like they're supposed to from here on out, I don't see them any worse than a 4.
See what happens with the teams above them. Ranked 8th right now in the latest poll are the Bulldogs. But it's a good point, and I think Reese made it. You know, does history come into it? It's not supposed to, but
Right.
the people on the committee are human beings.
Sure they are.
And they're aware of what's happened in the past.
I just can still hear the disappointment in the voice of Dan Dickow on that Sunday afternoon, Terry, when he called and said, Jimmy, what's up? What do you think? Why are we where we're at? And I didn't have an answer for him. You know, and it's hard to talk to a kid. I can imagine what Mark Few was going through on those days.
Yakuba Jawara, the spin move, turnabout's fair play. He went right by Ronnie Turioff. Turioff having a big night, 22 points, 7 of 9 from the floor, and 8 of 8 from the line. Corey Violette blocked from behind by Grubb. Johnson letting it fly, quick trigger. And Violette just takes it away from McGowan to get a sense of how strong Corey Violette is.
That was a man's rebound, because that was a man taking it away from a man.
And I'm not sure he really left the floor.
Yeah. You know, is Gonzaga invincible? No. I mean, they're beatable like everyone else is in the country. But you're going to have to put it on them because they're going to attack you. They got multiple ways to hurt you. They've got experience. And they're a confident group. It just shows in how Mark Few coaches this squad.
Eckert gets it back. Jawara tied up by Blake Stepp. Possession arrow gives it back to Gonzaga. If you are Mark Few, what do you worry about when you think about the upcoming games in the tournament?
Well, you know, you want Blake Stepp to be on the floor for as many minutes as possible. They drop off a little bit, obviously, when he goes out of the game with a backup freshman point guard, Derek Ravio. But as far as you look at everyone else in the country, they got the same kind of problems. Duke only goes about 7 guys. UConn doesn't have great depth behind their guy to Lake Brown at the point guard spot. So, on paper, Gonzaga has as good a shot to get there as anyone, in my opinion.
You think Duke maybe needs another guy?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah.
If they had Chris Humphreys, who originally signed with them and then went out to Minnesota, I would put them, if you pin me to the wall and said who's going to win it all, I would say Duke. But I think they're one guy away from saying they're going to get there for sure.
Blake Stepp from three-point range.
Well, he's just a step ahead of most other guys at that position, especially in this part of the country.
Got 13 points on the night, just 2 for 6 from beyond the arc, though. Johnson, short little jumper, and here's Stepp. I think sometimes it's overrated, depth is. Because with the Duke, the style of play, the coaching, you can win a national championship with just 7 guys, but certainly you'd feel better in terms of injuries, foul trouble, going into the tournament if you did go at least 8 deep.
Yeah, winning 6 in a row with only 7, boy, it becomes tough.
Little run going for the Zags. Morrison. Nice stop and pop. Adam Morrison, the freshman. That's not easy to do on the break. And they may have just put this one away. 8 assists for Blake Stepp now in the game. Morrison with a short jump shot on the break, and the Kennels going crazy.
You know what? And the sprint that Gonzaga's on right now is all triggered by Blake Stepp. He started off with a deep release rotation and the result from a 3-point shot. Then he also had a terrific outlet pass ahead the basketball to Morrison, and Blake Stepp didn't waste time by taking that ball an extra dribble. He got it up the sidelines, Terry, with a quick pass. Boy, just like he coached.
Turioff dominated the first half, and in many ways, it's been Blake Stepp in the second half. Not just shooting, not just scoring, but all over the floor. When they have been ranked, they have never lost at home here in the Kennel, in the Martin Center. And they are ranked 8th right now.
Blake Stepp with that 7 assists, only 3 turnovers a ball game in 35 minutes. And it's just small things, just like on that transition play. If he would have kept it one more bounce, Pepperdine could have recovered, but he got it up the floor quickly. A lot of point guards at the college level don't understand it. And I think that comes from playing a lot of minutes against guys like John Stockton, who still comes into this gym and plays pickup games and even practices with Gonzaga from time to time.
You got to feel if you're a guard and you go to Gonzaga, obviously it's a recruiting advantage in the first place, the tradition and drawing kids here. But you do have to be elevated by that, by the tradition here of great guards and there's, you know, perhaps the greatest and one of the best to ever play the game.
All you have to do is sit down and talk to John Stockton if you're a lead guard. And if you're any type of a sponge at all, you're going to absorb some things that John Stockton did throughout his career. The ability to knock down shots and to feed people and make accurate passes with pressure on you. But he can control the game. He doesn't do it with a flair or a sexiness about him, but he does it with that blue collar, just going to line up and whip you with a coach's mentality on the floor for 40 minutes.
You know, our producer, Jeff Kibler, didn't have to show the one he banked it. And that's the one he didn't want to see, even if we say nice things about him. Terrence Johnson with the three-pointer from the deep corner. And Johnson's got 17. The freshman Davis with the foul against Steph.
Well, that's a handful for a true freshman to match up with Blake Stepp. That's exactly what Sean Davis has had to do in this ball game.
Productive second half. And now with 12 in this half. The freshmen have played awfully well, too, and that's another thing you've been talking about. And it goes to the depth of this team, something that they haven't really had to this extent in the past. But Mallon's got 10, Morrison's got 10, Ravio's got 3 off the bench. 23 points for those youngsters for Mark Beal off the bench. We're done here in Spokane. Yeah, the people here in the state of Washington will be thrilled. Even if you're a Gonzaga fan, they're real excited about that.
I've been on the game night tonight, Terry. They'll talk about the Pac-10. I think Pac-10, 2 teams for sure, and they're going to have a third team play their way in this year.
I was going to say, you think there'll be 3 teams?
I just don't see it happening right now. And because of that, I think that bodes very well for guys like Southern Illinois, Western Michigan, or Dayton, or Manhattan, a club that might get knocked off in a conference tournament. The Pac-10 won't have their 5 or 6 teams in, and that will help some of those mid-majors this year.
Oregon, the one team that could slide in there?
They got the best shot right now, but they got to win ball games.
Back to this one. You look at this lineup for Gonzaga with Skinner out. They're doing all this with Skinner out and Fox out, 2 mainstays in their offensive and their defensive system. Jawara with the long 3-pointer, so it's an 18-point game. But how many minutes are they going to get when they come back, you wonder? With the youngsters playing so well. Derek Ravio, one of those youngsters, set to check in right now. There's a look at Tony Skinner with the broken hand. Been out since December 31st, but he practiced this week. They expected him to play tonight, but we haven't seen him.
You know what? He stung that hand a little bit in practice yesterday as you and I were watching him, and shook it for a while. And, you know, maybe it's a little sore for him tonight, and there's no reason to put him in when you're up this big. But he and Fox both are just on the verge now of getting back in this rotation.
While we have a moment, Saturday, ABC Sports has a great lineup of regional college hoops action. You'll see either Georgia Tech taking on Tennessee, Marquette and DePaul from Chicago, or out here in the West, number 12 Arizona against number 2 Stanford. Saturday at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Check your local listings for the game in your area.
Big loss for Stanford right now. Justin Davis, Harris has stepped in and done a good job of filling in for him, but tell you what, Stanford now, they're low. They're St. Joe's right there at the top of the nation with win streaks. Duke with 16, extends it tonight. Gonzaga getting ready to go to 11. But I love Stanford. Now, I think it's interesting that Corey Violette, after he got a knot put on his head by that Stanford front line, has taken his game to another level just off of what he learned by playing against Kirchhoffer and Little and Justin Davis and guys from Stanford.
Got a double-double tonight. 13 points, 11 rebounds as Steph takes it. Just having fun right now. But you're back to Violette for a moment. I think, and you touched on it as you watch Steph down low, drawing the foul. It's because of Violette and Turioff that maybe Steph is not on that wooden mid-season list of the 30 players, because Steph's scoring under 15 a game, but that doesn't begin to tell his story.
No, I mean, you don't want your point. I don't want my point guard scoring more than 15 a game. I know there are some out there that do it. Jameer Nelson is a great example of it, but he's a special guy. But you got to have your point guard knocking down open shots when he gets them like Steph does, and controlling the basketball game on both ends.
Yeah, Steph's the leading assist man in the conference, better than 7 assists a game. Third in free throw percent. I mean, he's just near the top of the list in a number of different categories. and he does what he has to do. They needed him in the second half. They didn't really need him to score, at least in the first half tonight.
Got good size right now. He's versatile enough to play the back, back of that zone. And again, he can still become the Wooden Award winner, but he's not even on the ballot right now, and that blows me away.
Jawara with 24 on the night. Yakuba Jawara, who was out the first 17 games, he's played the last 5 coming in, and he's led them in scoring throughout every game he's played. And he's changed this team, although tonight you couldn't tell. A tough assignment for them on the road here. But they came in having won 3 of the last 4, including 3 in a row before they lost to San Francisco.
You know, and if Pepperdine would commit to defending just a little bit, they're the kind of team that they can get in that conference tournament, boom, 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 and win 3 in a row because they've got the talent, they got the offensive firepower, they play a loose brand of basketball.
Look at what Gonzaga's been able to do over the last 5 years, right behind the Dukies, along with Kansas.
And to me, it is a shame that Gonzaga is playing on Bracket Buster Saturday. I mean, how can they be in Bracket Buster Saturday? That's not fair to anybody. They're a team that could go to the Final Four.
Late step. He's done for the night. He's got 18 points, so he'll have a rest, and Jawara goes to the bench for Westfall. I got that game. Hey, we'll lay off of them, all right?
Tulsa and Gonzaga.
Gonzaga and Tulsa at Tulsa.
Tulsa needs a win right now. And they got Gonzaga coming into their play.
20 points to lead.
Man.
Here at home for Gonzaga, looking to move to 7-0 at home on the season. They said it before, but I'll say it again. 10 losses in 12 years here at this place. That's incredible.
Well, to me, they're everything they were advertised before I stepped into the state of Washington. They've got the size, they've got the depth, they guard you hard, they play with a lot of effort, and they've got the experience. I don't know what else you're looking for right now if you're trying to pick a team that could get all the way to the Final Four. This is as good a money as you can find.
Bench is cleared. Stephen Gentry gives it off to Mallon, but he stepped on the baseline. So the turnover with 41.5. 145 and 10. I think Mark Few is 52 and 3 here during his tenure. And they lost 2 of those last year.
I know they opened up the season with a loss to St. Joe's, but that was without a difference maker. They had to fly all the way across the country. St. Joe's busting 5,000 people, so it's pretty much a home game for the Redhawks. And it's a club now, I'm telling you, that, again, they can be beat. They can also be standing there at the very end.
Yeah, that wasn't really a neutral site. No, it was the one against Stanford, which was played in Oakland. So really 2 road games and against the 2 teams that are unbeaten. So an impressive win from a team that could do a lot of damage in the NCAA tournament, maybe go to the Final Four. Mark Few, Paul Westfall shaking hands as the final seconds tick off the clock. That's it. Your final score, Gonzaga 93, Pepperdine 73. Don't forget, college game night is coming up next. The Zags win for the 7th time against no losses at home this year. For Jimmy Dykes and our entire ESPN2 crew, I'm Terry Gannon. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
Of the ball game, and the last couple of minutes have been a little shaky, but that was not the kind of foul you want to get.
Terry Sanders at the line, an excellent free throw shooter, 81%. And able to buy the first one. You look at the numbers from the last match. That's what we're talking about. The free throws. Look at that.
Really is unbelievable. You can have an 18-point difference in free throws, 19 free throw attempts difference. I mean, you do that, most likely you're going to win. Even when your opponent shoots 54% against you, when you get more free throws like that, that's a big reason you're going to win.
It allows you to do other things too, like the full court pressure after the made free throw.
Yeah, that's why that foul is so bad. I mean, you have to know time and score. And when you're in the 1-and-1, even though you want to be aggressive.
Marcus purred off the dish from Greer, and he points right at him.
And just that little penetration, Terry, made that happen.
But the Golden Eagles now able to get up and down a little bit in transition and get some relatively easy ones. I say relatively, that wasn't too easy for Diener. Oh, nice move down low. And the pass and Greer up off the glass. So Mejia setting up his teammate for the bucket. So under a minute to go here. Chapman controlling it. Gives it to the quarterback here. Screen by Sanders. The switch. Kick out to Chapman from the corner. He can shoot that. The three-pointer from Joe Chapman. And it's a 7-point game. DePaul will have the last possession.
DePaul going to want to run something. Get the shot off with about 3-4 seconds, so they have a chance for an offensive rebound. Too early.
Dumont Greer. Air ball. Still time. Not now, though. Novak with the rebound, and that's it. An intense first half of play here at Allstate Arena. So your score, DePaul 38, Marquette 31. John and Digger are up next from the studio.
ABC's NCAA basketball presented by Cialis, brought to you by the all-new Toyota Tundra Double Cab. Not just big, life-size. The TGI...
Badgers making their move. Devin Harris, a little bit strong there, and he has struggled from the field. Harris just 4 for 13, 2 of 7 from downtown. 10-point ball game, favor the Wildcats. Dewanchich. Young for 3 off the screen. Morley the rebound. Both sides settling for shots from downtown.
I don't think either coach can be happy with those last 2 shots. Plenty of time left on the shot clock, both ends. Wisconsin especially has had good luck going inside.
Morley, double down on him. From the outside, Clayton Hansen. Mader positions for the rebound. Really warded off Mohamed Ashad. Now Devin Harris. Morley for threes, 3 for 3 from there. Saved on the play by Mader and knocked out of bounds. It'll go to Wisconsin, or to Northwestern.
Ashad and Mader on the inside. That matchup is not working very well for Northwestern.
Yeah.
He's not getting a good block out. Mader is doing a good job on the backboard.
And I would think Phil Carmody at some point is going to get a bigger body in there. But Kusic on the drive had it stripped away, knocked out of bounds. We got a foul call.
Tough break there for Wisconsin because Hansen had good position down on the block. It looked like Kusic might create the offensive foul if it hadn't been for the foul earlier.
Second personal on Wilkinson, second on the team. We take a moment to thank our Big Ten corporate partner, Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade it's in college basketball. First one is good, and now we give you the Gatorade. Big Ten corporate partner, Thirst Quencher, Gatorade. It's in college basketball as it in you. Kusic makes the second.
Young came up a little gimpy at the other end, like maybe he twisted his ankle.
The lob over the top to Morley. Well done by Devin Harris. 15 for Zach Morley, but what a pretty pass from Harris.
All the scoring is coming on the right side. They are really taking a shot at Ashad down low.
10-point ball game. Here's Young. A shot from the arc. 9 for Mohamed Ashad.
Oh, that was a big, big basket for Northwestern. It looked like Wisconsin was getting back into it, and then the three from way outside gives them that 13-point lead again.
Under 9 minutes to go for the game. Wisconsin, the 11th ranked team in the nation, being pressed to the limit on the road. Wilkinson pivots to the fall-away. Tough shot. Rebound. Mader inside. Tipped away by Hashad. Stolen by Jatim Young. Young in the open floor. Bakusic fills the lane.
Outstanding pass from Young. He looked the defense off to the left. Passed the ball back to the right for the easy layup.
15-point lead just like that for Northwestern. Good catch. Wilkinson inside. Tough angle on that pass, and Wilkinson able to nab it. Only his second field goal. He's got 6 points. Wilkinson with 6, Harris with 10. The big scoring leaders for Wisconsin not on their game here today. So the Badgers are going to other avenues for scoring, including Zach Morley. The Pita shot off his foot. Picked up by Dave Mader, who's played some valuable minutes here in the second half for Wisconsin.
Now you worry about some of these guys in fatigue. We've got 5 guys on the court who have played 20 minutes in the first half and have not sat down this half either.
Doubled down by Hashad. The steal by Bakusic. Young trying to finish over Mader, and he does.
Well, great recognition on the pass as they saw Mader looking to the inside. Jatim Young was on the outside. They threw the pass. It caused Mader to turn all the way around.
Hansen spinning, and here's Harris. He lost his footing and got tripped up on the play. I believe they're going to call it on Mohamed Hashad. His second personal, 6 on the team, and we get a timeout. Wisconsin trailing by 15, but moments ago, this pretty play helped get them back to within 10.
That was a key for them in the ball game.
Sean Morris, Mike Gleason in the studio talked about Wisconsin. You wonder about the distractions. This has been a distracting period for them with the loss of Orlando Tucker now, and then Boo Wade and his off-court problems. And you wonder, does that have an impact? And I think there's been a lot of hard work in the defensive end by Northwestern here today for the most part. No, obviously, Wisconsin is not on its game.
They're hesitant in everything that they do.
Yeah.
Wilkinson hesitant on that pass, allowed the defense to make the block, and at times they have been very one-on-one oriented, and that's not the way they play basketball.
Luncic been dangerous from the outside here today. Here's a shot. Cut off by Nixon. Parker driving baseline. Slipped out of bounds.
Wisconsin's defense, Helmick, has pulled all the way up now on Duancic. He's not going to give him another look from the outside. Even when Mader was in, he was pulled all the way up, opening up the backside of the defense that Northwestern really hasn't gotten into yet.
Now Harris sets the floor for Wisconsin. Coming up on 6 minutes to go in the game. You know Wisconsin's got a run in them. They can get it out. Otherwise, Northwestern trying to lock them up and throw away the key here today. 10 to go on the shot clock now. Long possession for Wisconsin. They'd like to score a little quicker than this. Freddie Owens, penetration to the lane. Oh, great look for Wilkinson. That was well done.
They just froze Bakusic as they came down the middle there. Took a look at him, looked him right in the eyes, froze him, gave an easy pass to Wilkinson.
Again, they were able to penetrate with their guard play in the early moments of the game, in the first 5 minutes or so of the game. Northwestern took that away, and now just recently here in the second half, you see Wisconsin guards getting into the lane, and that opens up everything else.
But you make a good point. It took them a long time. They went way deep into the shot clock to do that. And with Northwestern running the shot clock, you start to look up there and say, is there enough time, unless they can get some points quickly.
Again, under 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Bakusic, tough shot over Wilkinson. Jatim Young on the rebound. Shot clock winding down. They did not get it off in time. That shot by Bakusic did not catch iron. Thus, the shot clock continued, and a shot clock violation. We're in beautiful Evanston, Illinois, just north of Chicago, at Welsh Ryan Arena. Wilkinson trying to post down low. Freddie Owens penetrating again into the lane. This time to Tim Young, takes it away, and he double dribbled on it. Or did he? No, they've got a foul call. Foul, Andreas Helmick, his second personal foul, third on the team.
This is about the time in the first half, a little earlier than this, where Northwestern's defense really started to make its presence felt. And again, the last 3 times down, there have been 2 steals. So Jatim Young, again, the leader in that defense, knocking the ball away.
Wisconsin 11 turnovers now. Again, they came in averaging just under 10 turnovers a game. Wancic, rebound Jatim Young. Northwestern wisely reloads the offense.
2 big offensive rebounds in the last 2 series by Jatim Young. And as you mentioned, he is a fighter inside, loves to board. And he has done that very well here this afternoon.
Jatim Young is 6'2", but he's got the mentality of a player about 6'9", 6'10". In that 6'2" frame. TJ Parker down to 10 to go on the shot clock now, Bob.
He's not afraid of anybody. He'll take you on down low if he has to.
Makusic deep 3, ring that. Oh my goodness.
Well,
that was a dagger.
Yeah, it was a big one. It really went deep into the heart of Wisconsin as they were trying to mount a comeback.
Owens looking inside, wanted Wilkinson. To Wancic fronting him and denying that pass along with Makusic. Now Harris gets into the lane. Tough pass there. Do it behind Nixon. Turnover, Wisconsin. Very un-Badger-like.
Cardinal. Of course, Stanford trying to get to 20-0. Salim Stoudemire steps outside, hits the 3. Right now it's 44-35. Stanford on top. And Wayne, you remember back in the 2000-2001 season, they started 20-0, so they're trying to match that. Let's go back to Evanston.
Thank you very much, Mike. Right here, Northwestern trying to pull the upset of 11th-ranked Wisconsin. Big story. Look at this. They were second to Temple coming into today's game. Temple and Wisconsin, the only 2 teams average less than 10 turnovers a game. But here today, that number way up for Wisconsin. Plus, they are allowing almost 60% shooting in the game by Northwestern. Wisconsin defensively came in 7th in field goal defense. Under 3.5 to go for the game. And again, long possessions by Northwestern. Under 10 seconds to go on the shot clock again. At this rate, even if they don't score, it doesn't really matter. But when they do, it's even more defeating for Wisconsin. Here comes Devin Harris. Has to take it into his own hands. And gets fouled on the drive. Let's take a look at our assist leaders, brought to you by Cargill. Collaborate, create, and succeed. And Darren Williams leading Illinois. But Devin Harris right there for Wisconsin. 9 assists for Harris here today. But he has struggled to shoot it. 4-13 from the field, 2 of 7 from distance. Harris, a good free throw shooter. Harris just 11 points here today. Came in averaging almost 19 points a game. 12 for Devin Harris.
Start to think about the distractions. And although these kids have been through a lot in their college careers anyway, if you take a couple of guys out of the lineup, it can really change the things that you're used to doing. And it takes 2 or 3 games to get used to somebody new into the lineup at the beginning of the ball game.
The rotation is different. There's no doubt about that. And a certain amount of familiarity is required. 10 to go on the shot clock once again for Northwestern, where this is so much what they want to do on a nightly basis. There's a foul out front there, committed by Ray Nixon, his first personal. 4 on the team.
It's only 4 on the team, and you know, if Northwestern is able to run 30 seconds into the shot clock and then the foul comes, you know, that's devastating. Wisconsin, if they want to put them at the free throw line, are going to have to start hacking and force Northwestern to shoot some free throws.
And again, you're looking for quick offense from Wisconsin, and they are shooting 38.6% from the field here today. If you look again, the shot clock in the left-hand corner of your screen. So Wancic, too good to pass up. Nixon the rebound. Here comes Devin Harris. And Harris is fouled by Jatim Young. His second personal. Team is over the limit.
Well, Northwestern does not want to put Wisconsin at the free throw line to score points with the clock dead. On the other end, Wisconsin wants to put the Wildcats at the free throw line, see if they'll miss a couple of free throws and lengthen the ball game.
Devin Harris coming off that 38-point night against Minnesota. He was 10 of 12 from the field. He was 13 of 14 at the free throw line. And he's made 3 in a row here in these last 2 possessions.
It's the only way Wisconsin can get back into the ball game is from the free throw line to score when the clock is dead. And if you look at the clock and you think of the number of possessions, you know, if you can run the clock 30 seconds each time without fouls, the Badgers can't get back in it.
Wilkinson commits the foul. And again, that's only 5 team fouls on Wisconsin.
I think you're going to see number 6 right here.
Yeah, just 2:09 to go. You're right, Bob. They're running out of possession time. There's just not going to be that many possessions unless they are able to trigger a steal, that type of thing. Young on the inbounds to Wancic. Young is fouled by Clayton Hansen, and that is 6 now.
Badgers playing tough defense, trying to steal the ball coming inbounds. If it comes inbounds, they want to foul quickly, put Northwestern at the free throw line, and force them to hit free throws to win the ball game.
Kusic now being allowed to advance. Cross court to Parker, nearly stolen by Hansen, and then Morley commits the foul. That's 17 fouls now on Wisconsin. The Badgers 15-3, 6-1 in Big Ten play. Their only loss on the road at Purdue in a tough ball game early in the conference season. Badgers have won 25 straight on the home court.
A lot of parallels in those 2 ball games. Badgers only scoring 20 points in the first half against Purdue. Here they are against Northwestern. They have 19 in the first half. In both games, the Badgers could not get the rhythm of their offensive game flowing.
T.J. Parker makes good on his first. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule presented by Advance Auto Parts. And the Wisconsin schedule, they'll be on the road at Iowa and then at home to Ohio State. Illinois still on the road. They've got some tough road games coming up. Michigan will be no easy game as well. Devin Harris on the drive. Nixon finishes. And they get a timeout, Wisconsin, with 1:51 left to go, and the Wildcats leading it 59-47. So we'll take a timeout, step away to conclude the game after these messages.
Wanted it on the block against Sanders, didn't get it. Now we'll set the screen for Holland. On the drive, right by Novak, but a poor shot. And here comes Mason.
Need to pull it back out. Nothing there.
Damian Mason got the 2 quick fouls early on, was not a factor in the first half.
DePaul in a little man-to-man right now.
They work out top. Mason guarded by Dinner. Here comes his cousin Travis. Nice spot up. You knew that one was going in.
Boy, how about Terry?
Well, the shooting for Northwestern all afternoon has been just outstanding.
Seacott from the outside, long 3-pointer in the first half. Duanchet's really hot from the outside. Then you've got Vukusic, who hit that one just a moment ago, and that was a big shot. Really hurt the Badgers' comeback chances.
Young on the inbounds of Vukusic. Under 2 minutes to go in the game. Wisconsin trailing by 12. And the foul on T.J. Parker taken by Devin Harris. Timeout for the Advanced Auto Parts upcoming schedule, and you get a look at the Northwestern Wildcats. They'll be on the road for a tough game down at Purdue. Then it's Penn State at home, and Penn State's a game they felt like they should have won that game out there last week. And then Michigan State on the road. That's always a tough matchup for Northwestern. Wisconsin had come in here having won 3 in a row over Northwestern. This will be the only meeting of the season between these 2 teams. As a matter of fact, the Badgers scored a 74-59 win here in Evanston last year. But today, I thought Wisconsin on the defensive end really very aggressive in the zone most of the day. Really made Wisconsin work and took the Badgers out of sync, essentially. T.J. Parker has to be fouled by Mike Wilkinson.
Northwestern got such a good lead, it forced Wisconsin to do some things they didn't want to do. They forced them to go one-on-one more than they normally do. It took away the outside shot because they weren't hitting it very well, so they've got to get the ball down inside, see if they can get to the free throw line.
T.J. Parker back at the free throw line. Northwestern about to slow the progress of Wisconsin. Michigan State already won today. If Wisconsin is unable to make a miracle finish here and win this game, they will fall into a tie with Michigan State. 2 losses in this conference season at this juncture. Bob, you think they see 4 losses?
I think if you finish the season with 4 losses, you're going to be right up there for the title, unless somebody, you know, like a Michigan State really does a great job in the second half.
Banging away at it, Ray Nixon tips it in, but we saw Wisconsin early in the ball game, and really in the later stages of the second half, got a lot of shots in close that they just were unable to finish, and a lot of that had to do with the way Northwestern was playing on the defensive end. Jatim Young, 17 points. He is 4th in the Big Ten in scoring at just over 18 points a game.
Well, he has been a load, too, for the Badgers. Around the basket, he's been very powerful with his rebounding. Loves to go inside. There he is against Helmig. He finishes. Coming up here, he's going to finish against Mater. Takes a big bump, still finishes. Boy, this is a kid that's got a lot of heart, a lot of gut. And when he is in his game like he is today, he can take this Northwestern Wildcat to some magic places.
Jatim Young shooting 54% from the field. And the other factor about Jatim Young that you look at, 6.3 rebounds a game. And of his 120 rebounds coming into today's game, 35 of them were on the offensive glass, which for a 6'2 guard, he's in among the trees.
Now, one of the things that this Wildcat offense does is it pulls big guys away from the basket. They've got to go out and respect the outside shooting of a couple of the Wildcat forwards. So that opens up for a strong guard to go crash the boards, and Tim Young does a great job of it.
Young on the inbounds. Full court pressure by Wisconsin. They're in a stop the clock foul mode, you would think. Kuzic trying to take it across, fouled by Zach Morley. The other factor today, and you began to allude to it a moment ago, Bob, Doncic hitting 3 3-point field goals in the first half really seemed to open up again, and he pulls a big man away from the basket for Wisconsin because they have to go out there and honor him defensively, and that opened up some things as well. Vedran Kuzic with 14 points, 7 in the first half, now make it 8 in the second half.
You think about that 3-pointer that he had about 2 minutes ago on the right-hand side. That was a big one. Wisconsin was trying to get back in the ball game, and that one just put a dagger in that there's just no way they could get back from.
Harris, step back 3. No challenge from Parker there. Out of bounds it goes to Northwestern. Devin Harris, the last 3 games, 97 points in those last 3 games, and take a look at what he did today. He struggled from the field, there was no question. 4 of 16 from the field, 2 of 8 from the arc. 14 points for Devin Harris. Wilkinson knocks it away from a shot and out of bounds. Devin Harris, you know, you can only keep a hot streak like that going for so long, can't you?
It always comes to an end. But, you know, Northwestern did a good job today. They didn't give him a lot of good looks. I mean, they're all over him trying to make sure that he didn't get a good hot start. And, you know, that's a big key in the ball game for him, is the fact that, you know, Harris can't get it going. He wants to very badly. He hustled on defense. He's on the court scrambling for the basketball, but the offense, the shooting touch just wasn't there today.
And again, Bob, I agree with you. He tried to do the other things it takes to win a ball game. But again, I think at this stage of the game, if Wilkinson is going to sit there with 8 points, and they were unable to get it into Mike Wilkinson consistently, he was 3 or 4 from the field, but only 4 shots for him is low, very low. And the other factor is if he's not delivering, then certainly Devin Harris can't afford not to deliver. He must deliver in those situations. Comes up short there. Tip won't go. Wilkinson hits the deck. Saved by Doncic. to Vikusic, fouled by Nixon. We're under a minute to go in the game. What a win here today for Northwestern over the 11th ranked team in the country. What we're seeing, I think, also, and I wonder, and it'll be interesting to see as we go down the stretch in the conference, and Wisconsin has to play on the road, is the impact of the loss of the two players we talked about, Orlando Tucker and Boo Wade. It's not just that they're gone, but it changes the rotation, as you mentioned. It shortens the bench, and when you get on the road, sometimes you have to go to the bench, and you have to find another combination. When Wilkinson, when Harris are not going to deliver, then you've got to have somebody off the bench, and you don't have as many bodies off the bench to deliver. Coming up around the Big Ten, Mike Gleason, Sean Morris, and top 25 action as well. Tim Young gets a rousing round of applause from the crowd here at Welsh Ryan Arena. Nails in the coffin delivered by Vedran Vikusic. Wisconsin trailing by 20. And they didn't need to commit a foul there. Fouls on Mohammed Hashad.
You know, Bo Ryan talked about it a little bit last night after shoot-around. He said, you know, first half of this conference season, we had a lot of ball games at home.
Yep. As
you see, Tim Young had an outstanding ball game here this afternoon. He's got a lot of road games. 5 of the 8 in the second half are on the road, and that's always the tale of who's going to be the Big Ten champion. How well do you play on the road? And you come into Northwestern and lose to a club that you only play one time. That's painful.
Yep. So the Wildcats earn a big win here today. Slow the Badger Express, and now we've got a tie atop the Big Ten Conference standings. Michigan State and Wisconsin at 7-2. Again, Mike Gleason and Sean Morris will wrap up the entire day in the Big Ten, as well as the top 25 coming up.
Won't this be a surprise when you see this final score tomorrow around the country? See the number 11 team come into Northwestern and just get pounded.
A shot for 3 with the shot clock winding down. Foul on the rebound. And the foul coming up on Michael Jenkins. Michael Jenkins, Joe Kennedy in the ball game for Northwestern. There's Tim Young. Boy, he is the do-everything guard for this Northwestern team, the heart and soul of this team. Young 7 of 11 from the floor, 17 points. He had 4 rebounds, 4 assists in the ball game. Wisconsin had 12 turnovers the other night against Minnesota at home. Again, when you play with a short bench and you try to play through the distractions the Badgers have played through, much easier to do that at home than it is on the road. And maybe that's part of what we're seeing here today. As Vikusic comes off, and Dowancic playing key roles in this victory here today. Final seconds, and the Northwestern crowd comes to its feet. The Northwestern Wildcats have defeated the 11th ranked Wisconsin Badgers 69-51. And the students rush the floor. Northwestern wins it here today, 69-51. For Bob Ford, Wayne Larrabee, we go to the studio. Mike Gleason and Sean Morris. Guys?
All right, thanks a lot, Wayne. Wildcats now 7-2 at home. Interesting game there. Interesting afternoon in the Big Ten. Started in Chrysler Arena, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Michigan taking on Purdue. Wait till you see this finish. Let's go to the videotape, and we'll see it. Michigan up 1, 12 seconds left. Brandon McKnight hits the jumper. Looks like Purdue might win the game.
Nice job right here, but poor job defensively by Purdue. Daniel Horton able to drive the full length of the floor. The Boilermakers do not stop penetration. Horton's not able to convert, but Sims gets not 1, but 2 cracks at the rim. Big tip in for the freshman, a double-double, and you can take a look at it right there. Tip came in plenty of time. Crushing loss for the Boilermakers.
So Michigan blew a 16-point lead, but they do win the game 64-63. They're now 4-4, and Purdue's 5-4 in league play. All right, let's go to Columbus now. Michigan State and the Buckeyes. Coaches wearing sneakers for the coaches versus cancer. And Maurice Ager was 7 of 9 in the ball game. Here he takes it strong to the hole.
Very athletic player. Also hit threes, and boy, threes were the name of the game for Michigan State. Here you see Torbert. He lines up and knocks one down. Then in transition, good job of running the floor. That's how you shoot over 70% in the ball game, getting shots like that. But Ohio State wasn't going away. Tony Stockman picking up where he left off the last couple of games, knocking down threes, you'll see 3 of them coming right here in succession, Glee.
Yeah, Stockman with 11 threes over the last couple of ball games. Michigan State's Chris Hill, nice crossover, slices through the defense, takes it to the hole. Michigan State now, they've won 7 of the last 8. They're shooting lights out. They had 81% in the first half. They wound up shooting 73% in the ball game, but the most important thing there, Spartans win it, and the Spartans are in first place now with that Wisconsin losing. You look at Ohio State, you cross that one off the list, and now they go to Illinois. Then they go to the Breslin Center for 3 straight.
Joe, first from down low.
Really solid inside. They shut down Devin Harris also. He had 38 points against Minnesota, only 8 points tonight. They really come out aggressive. 10 zip on fast break points in the first half. Only 19 points for Wisconsin in that first half.
St. Joe's is still unbeaten as Jameer Nelson had 20 points. Guys,
thank you. Here in Chicago, you got Da Bulls, Da Bears, Da Dieners, and DePaul leading by 5. It's actually the correct pronunciation is Da Bears and Da Bulls. Well, we won't pick that apart. It's a nice sign.
And there is DeFoul.
Carlton Christian, the freshman, picking that up. Saw Diener hitting that 3 as we went to break. He hit only one of his first 5 shots in the game, but he's 4 of 6 since that time, including 2 for 2 from beyond the arc.
A bit of a defensive switch here. Looks like more of a box and 1. Christian on Diener.
Well, Christian really defending Diener well. And there's another walk from Brown, exactly what you talked about.
It's amazing. Andre Brown, a McDonald's All-American coming out of high school, a senior now. He's a terrific athlete, not really an instinctive basketball player, but when he gets the ball, he tends to pick up his pivot foot. He establishes it and then shuffles it, and oftentimes gets a lot of needless turnovers as a result.
9th turnover for DePaul, 4th this half, as Diener gets a rest. Drake Diener, that is. Here comes his cousin Travis, trying to work off a screen out top. Marcus Jackson setting that screen. Diener right to the hoop now. Merritt over the back of Greer fighting for it. Now Brown comes up with it.
Greer and Brown would not give up on that. And while Merritt did go over the back, it didn't look like he touched anybody.
Tyler Smith off to Holland. And back to Smith, the freshman from Baltimore.
A lefty can play the point.
Knocked out of bounds, and you've got 13 seconds left on the shot clock as Novak comes back into the lineup. Joe Chapman into the lineup for Tom Crean's club. Sanders in as well. Here's Mejia against Sanders. Again able to penetrate, can't buy it this time, but Smith the rebound, and it all was created by the penetration from Sammy Mejia again.
Sammy Mejia's gotten to the basket anytime he felt like it. And that was just another example with Drake Diener sitting on the bench. Not really a reason to extend that far out, especially on Mejia.
Took the one jump shot from outside this half and missed it. That was about 3 possessions ago. Diener, nice move. Tried to draw the foul, couldn't, but up high off the glass and in.
You think of him as being a three-point shooter, a guy that's going to come off ball screens, but that time taking it down to the baseline among the trees.
Remember how quiet he was in the first half. Travis Diener now has 17. Mejia trying to penetrate and dish again. Smith, the left-hander, and Diener got a piece of his arm. That is not a good foul.
No, it's going to give him 3 free throws. Here's Mejia on the penetration. It's a nice show out top by Sanders, and nobody really picks up. There wasn't a switch, and Sanders didn't step in front. That's just a little bit too easy. Defensive breakdown off the ball screen.
And Tyler Smith at the line, 6 out of 7 now on the year from the free throw line, but that's got to be the worst foul in basketball, I think. You foul the three-point shooter deep in the corner and a guy who just came off the bench.
Well, the cardinal rule is don't foul jump shooters. That's especially true when they're behind that three-point line. Make them shoot a challenge jump shot.
On second thought, he's over 2.
When they miss and bail you out, it still doesn't make a good strategy, though.
It's 1 for 3. And Drake Diener back into the lineup. Smith having a seat on Dave Leto's bench. Leto, the second-year man, started his career Northeastern and was at UConn. Jim Calhoun, a long relationship with Jim Calhoun. There's Jackson. Put it back to Chapman. Here's your shooter, Diener for 3. Yeah. He has taken control in the second half. Travis Diener now with 20.
If you don't have a hand right in his face, he drills it. He's an outstanding shooter, but he sees so much defensive attention. He only shoots about 36% from the field in Conference USA games.
Holland with rhythm off the dribble. Delonte Holland.
How about that little shake and bake? That's what confidence can do for you.
He's got 12. Guy who has really struggled the last 5 or 6 games. Diener lost it, scrambles to get it. And the timeout called. Tom Crean was right there by him, and Diener got the timeout. And Dave Leto saying, yeah, he may have called a timeout, but he was skidding across the floor as he did it. We'll continue here on ABC Sports after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Trailing on the road, their team that's won 8 of their 9 road games this season.
12 lead changes, 7 ties. Stetson Hairston. And we have another lead change as Darren Brooks hits that one.
Taking on the Fighting Irish, and then Kansas and Oklahoma State, a game that's also available on ESPN HD. Call your cable operator DirecTV or Dish Network today. Big Monday presented by Bud Light on ESPN. With a man-to-man by DePaul coming out of the timeout. And here's Terry Sanders, who's had a big day. Giving off to Diener. He's now got 20. Diener driving on Mejia off the back of the rim.
And even though Mejia, the taller man, Diener taking him down along the baseline, and that's where that stop-and-go game, the head fakes, head and shoulder fakes, really benefits a guy like Travis Diener. He knows how to get open shots.
Drive along the baseline, but a foul away from the ball. So All-State Arena filled with Marquette fans, DePaul fans, ABC's NCAA basketball, presented by Cialis, Terry Gannon, and Jay Billis. DePaul has controlled this game from the opening moments, but Travis Diener has led a Marquette run. They really started that run at the end of the first half, a 14-6 run in the last 2.5 minutes to get back into it. Now it's a 5-point game. Marlon Brumfield from the free throw line.
DePaul in the bonus. They will shoot free throws on every common foul the rest of the way. That means you have to be strong with the ball when Marquette comes after you.
Novak tipped it, lost it, and they're going to give it to DePaul. Wait. No, they're giving it to Marquette. Dave Leto's down there saying, how does that figure? Novak touched it last.
Well, it looked like it got slapped out of his hands. Let's see if it went out of bounds first.
They're going to reverse this, by the way.
No, he was out of bounds when he touched it. If Novak hadn't have touched it, I think Marquette would have gotten the basketball.
There comes Leto. He's got a future as an official, I believe.
Excellent official. I don't think he likes to pay.
No, he had good form, though. That was nice.
And give credit to the officials for changing that call. It's not often you see calls changed.
Of course, if you're Tom Crean, you're saying, hey, I didn't have the opportunity to come down and argue my side of the case here.
Matchup zone right now by Marquette. Trying to stop that dribble penetration that's been so effective for DePaul.
Holland from the deep corner. How about Delonte Holland?
The little jab step. And I think the slump is over for Delonte Holland.
9-point lead for the Blue Demons. And listen to their fans. Everybody up here at All-State. Novak, good recovery by Diener. Little weave out front, and Mason, for the third time in the game, just loses it out of bounds. So the
it'd be impossible to beat Sonny Liston. He's too powerful, too experienced. Or when they said, don't take the fight in Zaire. He's too young, too strong. He's gonna destroy Ali. So when my father looks impossible in the eye and defeats it, again and again. What do you think I'm gonna do when they say women shouldn't box? Yeah, that's right. Rumble, young girl, rumble.
ABC's NCAA basketball presented by Cialis. Brought to you by Cialis. Ask your doctor if a free sample of Cialis is right for you. And Adidas. Impossible is nothing.
64-55 your score. You're in DePaul's house, and they're playing like it the last 3 minutes or so, withstanding the run that you knew would come from the Golden Eagles. Sammy Mejia, double digits in assists, guarded by another freshman, Damian Mason, who's had a tough day. Here's the guy, Delonte Holland, who's really heated up. He's got 15. Another one from three-point range. Holland again, he's got 18.
Holland had not hit a three in his last 9 games. In his last 5, shooting only 29%. And now he is 7 of 11 from the field, 18 points. That is called breaking out of a slump in a big way.
He's got 12 in the second half. It was Cumont Greer who controlled the first half.
Nice.
The dish down low. Chapman to Merritt.
One of the few times that Marquette has been able to get into the lane and dish it.
Merritt's got 13. 6:21 and counting now as DePaul tries to run a little bit of clock here. At least slow the tempo a bit. Mejia inside against the double team. Tipped up and good by Brown.
Brown just used his strength and knocked Damian Mason right out of the way to tip that in with his left hand. Mason having a tough time staying in front of Mejia. That's been a real problem for Marquette.
Brown's in double figures, the lead up to 12. Merritt lost it. Here's Sanders, and he's fouled by Andre Brown.
Delonte Holland is a big-time scorer, but he has really struggled over his last 8 games, but he has officially broken out of this slump. Look at the jab step, getting Marcus Jackson to move back, give himself that kind of space. And the little shake and bake. Now he's got that confidence, that swagger, and even harder to guard.
Merritt over Brown, misses badly out of bounds, and it will stay right here at this end. It's amazing how mental this game can be. And Holland, here's a guy who shot 1,300 shots a day over the summer, really worked hard on his shooting, and it paid off. He's averaging 17 a game, but when it starts to go south, it gets in your head. Doesn't matter how much work you put in, you got to shoot yourself out of it.
It's true, and the beauty of it, it can come back quickly, and that's why you always have to guard. You never know when a big-time scorer is going to get his rhythm back. You don't want to give it to him by giving him something easy.
Damian Mason's first bucket of the game. He's been averaging 16 points a game in conference play. It started the last 6 games now. Brown, jump hook, nice, in the lane, Andre Brown.
When he makes a quick move, very hard to deal with.
This has been pretty impressive to watch DePaul here in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Deep shot by Novak, and Mejia the rebound. Again, the penetration. Did he take an extra step? Yeah. Or 2, maybe.
Andre Brown establishing that low post position. Pretty good job by Merritt of pushing him off the lane with that explosiveness of Brown. Able to just take a hop, get into the middle, and make a quick move.
Aren't the best post baskets the simplest ones?
Absolutely. Anytime you can simplify it, you are in much better shape as a post player.
Good head fake by Novak, and the 3.
Last year, he wasn't doing that. Last year, if there wasn't a spot-up shot, Novak wasn't going to put it in. But this year, much better in giving a shot fake, putting it on the floor once. Much better at attacking off the dribble, and he's become a better rebounder, although I think he can improve even more in that category.
So the lead for DePaul down to 9 now. Diener on the block, but here's Greer giving it up to Holland. He'll shoot that.
Oh, yep. Look at that.
In and out. And Mason going to push it up.
Damian Mason threw it away. And Greer leading a 2-on-1 for DePaul for Holland. How quickly things change from one end to the other, and Diener quiets the crowd with his three and tries to get his troops rallied, as they'll talk about it with a 30-second timeout.
And Tom Crean going right over to Damian Mason. He wants him to stay in this ball game. He made a mistake. It cost him a basket, but he can still do some things in this last 4 minutes that are very helpful to this Marquette team.
Diener with 23 now, and Novak, look at the move in the corner. There you talked about the pump fake. Mejia goes by, and the nice three.
Boy, that's pretty strong. The nice presence. And then on the other end, the 2-on-1, getting Diener to commit and dropping it off very nicely. Dumont Greer looking like a point guard right there, the face-up 4-man. Came here as a 3-man, but has had to play the 4 spot and has played it pretty effectively.
Well, Diener's the man who, in the last 3 minutes, 54 seconds, you know they'll look to.
Well, there's not a mentally tougher player in America, and when he goes on the road, no amount of crowd noise is going to affect this kid. He is just focused on the task at hand, and that is winning. He will do whatever it takes to win.
And his numbers 5 of 7 from beyond the arc. He's made 4 straight.
And it's not like those have been standstill jumpers with no pressure. He's had to take those under pressure on the run.
Got to make a comeback, though. He's going to move to 9-0 against his relatives.
And DePaul has got to remain aggressive, not only offensively, but especially on the defensive end. DePaul only has 4 team fouls. They don't have anything to worry about in being aggressive. They're not going to send Marquette to the line.
Little weave out front, and now the offense gotten into by DePaul. Greer over Sanders. Nice block from Sanders. Diener to Novak, a phrase that they have heard often in Milwaukee this year and last year.
There's set play up top. Flare screen, flare screen.
Mason almost lost it. Running a lot of clock here. Shot clock down to 10, and now the force by Mason. No foul called. That's what Queen wanted, but Mejia controls.
You know, that's one of those calls, Terry, that Marquette gets at the Bradley Center, but when you're on the road, I mean, the home team will get a call like that, but on the road, you just have to be tougher.
And the hand check out top by Mason, maybe not one that's called when you're at home.
Exactly.
So 3 fouls on Damian Mason, the freshman from Aurora, Illinois, just outside of Chicago.
One thing both these teams do very well is shoot free throws. In Conference USA play, Marquette shooting 81% from the line as a team. That is extraordinary. And DePaul shooting about 70%, 4th in the league in conference games.
Mejia, 78% free throw shooting. He's had some big games this year. He had 13 rebounds against Charlotte, had 18 points against Seton Hall, but this may be as an impressive an outing as he's had. With 12 assists, 8 points, a couple from the free throw line, and now the double-digit lead for DePaul. Tom Crean, he's got to go if he's going to come back and win this one on the road.
We're all showing our support, and Doug Gottlieb has a sweet new pair of sneaks he's got going too.
He got some LeBrons on.
Very impressive. The sharp. Lindemann now to Darren. Double team. Those are dress sneakers. Grimes, he is so tough inside.
Great ball movement, and you don't need dress sneakers to know that is the type of shot that Mike Grimes excels at. Over 70% from the field. Great ball movement. All of a sudden, the fans are back in it. And watch Southern Illinois. They try and take the crowd out of the game, take the legs away from Creighton by running their offense, getting a good shot after 30, 35 seconds on the off the shot clock.
55-53. Grimes now has 10 points. As you said, they run it down now to about 5 seconds. Korn, he can shoot the three, and he does so. Hit one early and hits one now. Brad Korn now has 9.
And all of a sudden, all that crowd noise, all that enthusiasm, all that momentum, it's gone just simply because they ran long offense, hit a nice open 3.
Could not have put together a better possession, but Johnny Mathis gets a hoop on the other end. He now has 10, cutting into what was the largest Southern Illinois lead of the game. They had led it by 5. It's now back down to 3, Doug.
All right, don't be surprised.
Basketball presented by Cialis. Marquette taking on DePaul. Two very similar schools and programs. Barry Gannon along with Jay Billis, two of the great American Midwest cities represented here, Milwaukee and Chicago. Points in the paint, DePaul getting the better end of things.
Primarily off penetration moves, some offensive rebounds, getting it into Andre Brown. But Marquette, Terry, has done everything you need to do to make a comeback in the second half. They've shot 58% in the second half, 5 of 6 from 3. The problem is DePaul has shot 65% in the second half. It's hard to come back on a team when they shoot over 60%.
And now 2.5 minutes left for the comeback bid here. If Diener's going to do it, we've got to start to hurry. Novak off the screen, rushed it a little bit. Mason high into the air. The quick hands of Greer to tie him up. And a possession arrow going to keep it at this end.
Terrific rebound by Damian Mason.
So does Tom Crean work out more before the game with his club or on the sideline? That's the question.
Boy, both. He burns a lot of calories. Great move.
Heard a whistle for a moment. Everyone stopped. But here's Diener. Travis Diener. You can't leave him alone.
Boy, they probably should have just given him the layup underneath. That would only cost him 2. On the broken play, they wind up with 3.
He's got 26 in the game. His cousin Drake wants to pull it out and run some clock. Under 2 minutes. Diener may have tried to commit the foul there, but no call.
Right now, you don't want to foul. The shot clock down at 10. They've got to come to you.
The switch out front. Mejia almost lost it, and there is the foul.
You don't want to foul there. Just a little bit over-aggressive. They had him so far from the basket, there was no way that DePaul was going to get a great shot. And they bailed him out.
4th foul on Damian Mason, the team's 9th, with 1:40 left, and the shot clock was expiring. You're right. It's not what they were looking for. So it's Sammy Mejia, who's had a big afternoon.
Well, that's just a function of experience.
Big afternoon does not continue at the free throw line. So a 7-point game. Mejia on Diener off the screen. And a foul on Mejia as he tried to fight around the screen.
Just the 16th foul. Now they're going to have to be a little bit more careful. Otherwise, they will send Marquette to the free throw line.
Yeah, you can no longer give one away if you're DePaul. Diener with the fadeaway. No, short. Oh, look at the fight from Sanders getting it back to his point guard. Holland, good defense. Then he left his feet and he fouled Novak. Jay stopped him initially. He took the shot away, but then left his feet.
When you have a lead, the last thing you want to do is foul and stop the clock. And Steve Novak, you just want to get late pressure on this. If he takes this shot, that's a hard shot to take. And that's just a bailout by Delonte Holland. A very smart play by Steve Novak. And right now, the referee's checking the monitor to see if it was a 2 or a 3 to see how many free throws to award. You can go to the monitor to check whether it's a 2 or a 3. And he looks like he just got that foot back, so it will be 3 free throws. Boy, Steve Novak had that toe on the line, but pulled it back after he made the shot fake and got Delonte Holland in the air. Great camera work and outstanding directing. See, it's there, it's on the line, then he backs it up. Good call by the officials and excellent use of the replay.
Yeah, if the other foot was his pivot foot, he couldn't have done that, but the right foot, he could move, and he brought that back beyond the arc.
Novak, an 86% free throw shooter in Conference USA games. You hate to say count him, but it's rare that he misses.
2 for 2 in a 5-point game. Had a feeling this one would go down to the wire. Two well-matched teams, similar records, a rivalry. DePaul winning 5 of their last 6. LeVar Seals comes into the game for DePaul right now. Carlton Christian into the game for Marquette. Full court pressure for the Golden Eagles with 1:18 left.
Marquette face guarding, trying to keep it from coming in.
Barely got it in and got it into the corner, and Drake Diener around the double team and the foul. While we have a moment, a reminder, one of the most powerful cop dramas of all time returns with its most intense episode yet. An all-new NYPD Blue, Tuesday at 10/9 Central, right here on ABC. Drake Diener, an 87% free throw shooter.
How about that? Your most trustworthy player at home steps to the line. Drake Diener has had a marvelous season, played the point last year, and has moved back to the 2-guard position.
1 for 2, and now 3 for 4 on the afternoon. It's a 5-point lead for the Blue Demons.
Marquette does not need a 3. They would take one if it were open. There's still plenty of time left in this game.
Sanders sets the screen for Novak. Brown high into the air. Mason got a piece of him. We'll see if they call it on him.
Looks like they did, and that's a very difficult foul to live with as a player, because you're going after the ball. The hand is a part of the ball. And it looked like a good, clean play for the rebound. He watches it goes up. Mason goes up with Andre Brown. I'm telling you, that is not a foul. There is no way. That is called a loose ball. Now, ultimately, it went to Drake Diener, but the whistle was blown. And it shouldn't have been free throws. That was a clean play.
And for Damian Mason, that's number 5. 2 points, 2 rebounds for the outstanding freshman, but he did not have an outstanding day. Step away, send it back to John Saunders in the studio for a moment.
John and Digger back here in the studio. Great one between Arizona and Stanford. Arizona goes on a 19-3 run. Stoudemire with the miss. Channing Frye with the putback.
Great offensive rebound. More aggressive on defense, playing smart basketball. They're up 3.
We will keep you up to date and maybe get you out there.
All right, John, thank you. 1:05 left, and they're singing "Na Na Hey Hey Goodbye," but a bit premature, I believe.
I'll tell you, the story in that Stanford-Arizona game won't be if Arizona wins it. It'll be if Stanford wins it. Because the home team never wins in that rivalry of late.
St. Joe's remaining unbeaten. Stanford rolling through injuries, though.
Justin Davis still out. That is one outstanding team, Stanford, and you're not going to find a more athletic team than Arizona.
Brown trying to make it a 3-possession game. He cannot. It's a 6-point game. A couple of threes would tie it up for Marquette. Under a minute now. Merritt around the screen from Diener. The dish and the bucket. Green wanted a foul, but he didn't get it.
Well, it's hard to believe if you're going to call that foul off the rebound. You don't call it there, but a terrific play by Marquette.
4-point game, 42 and counting on the game clock, 23 on the shot clock.
You got a foul here.
Yeah.
You can't wait. They wanted to get it out of Diener's hands, but time was wasted as a result of it. Boy, what a terrific play by Terry Sanders. The nice draw and dish by Merritt, draws over Andre Brown. That looked like a foul to me, but a terrific play by Terry Sanders, a career high for him in this ballgame. His career high was 13 previously. And he has really played well. 16 points in this game.
Mejia with the free throw. So it's a 5-point game. Good execution at one end by Marquette, because it shows patience, and they're a well-coached team. They didn't have to have the 3, but if you do that, you got to come back and foul right away.
And Marquette has done everything they needed to do to win this game, but DePaul has been so strong offensively. This is a quantum leap for this team, especially with a freshman point guard.
5-point game. Here's Merritt. Same move. Gives it up to Novak. Holland changed his shot in the air. Big rebound for Brown.
DePaul.
So now maybe the na-na, hey, goodbye a bit more appropriate from the DePaul fans. It's been a good one. The Cialis key moment. The second three-pointer from Delonte Holland. Put him up 12 points.
Delonte Holland really broke out of that mini slump he was in. And the offensive execution of this DePaul team is the factor in winning this ball game if they are able to hang on, and it looks like they will.
Another double-double. Andre Brown, 14 points, 10 rebounds.
Well, he's been a double-double machine since he's come back. And what a nice win for Dave Leto and his program, trying to get it to the next level, build a culture of winning again here at DePaul.
Quickly to the other end goes Diener, the easy land. So just under 16 seconds left. And I know it's a cliche, but stranger things have happened.
Well, I mean, this game really with just under 16 seconds to go is far from over. I mean, you've got a two-possession game. You foul right away if you don't steal the inbounds play, and then it becomes a free throw shooting contest. I mean, you can get 2 or 3 possessions out of this 16 seconds, maybe more.
Take a look at what Marquette has over their next 4 games. 3 of the 4 on ESPN or ESPN2. Memphis and at St. Louis, back at home against Tulane, before wrapping it up at South Florida.
You know, this Conference USA has a great opportunity to get 5 teams. You can make an argument for 6, but I think 5 teams have a chance. And DePaul playing St. Louis twice. Louisville is the big one. When you play teams that are ranked in the RPI top 25, those are great opportunities to build a resume that other schools just cannot keep up with when they get into that NCAA tournament selection committee room in Indianapolis in March.
And remember, that's the next 4 games. I mean, Marquette's still got an opportunity to beat Louisville again. They go to the Bradley Center. Or they beat them once.
Marquette face guarding.
Foul before the inbounds pass.
So Drake Diener will head to the free throw line yet again. He missed a free throw on his last trip. I would be surprised, as mentally tough as he is, if he misses again.
Been so close for Marquette. They've gotten within 4 on 5 separate occasions, but no closer here in the second half. Coming up next, the best of the Winter X Games here on ABC. Not done yet from Chicago. This would be a very big win for DePaul, moving to 13-7 overall, and maybe even more important, 6-3 in Conference USA.
Important for seeding in the Conference USA tournament. Important also for building that resume, and really important for building your program to protect your home court against a heated rival and a team that last year went to the NCAA Final Four. I mean, this is another big step in this program's development.
Coming in, Marquette with a 2-3 record in their last 5. So struggling a bit at this point in the season. 6-point lead. Here comes Diener. Lost it. Holland. And that will do it for the Blue Demons. Drake Diener is fouled with 8.6 seconds left and the 6-point lead. 7 straight games. Marquette has beaten their rival, and now it looks like it will come to an end. 2000, the last time that DePaul beat Marquette, and that was in Milwaukee.
This will be the 6th win for DePaul out of their last 7 Conference USA games, and a very cool customer right now, Dave Leto, but inside you know how excited he is because of the way his team performed, especially on the offensive end. They answered every call, Terry, when Marquette threw all they had at him in the second half. This is a big win for DePaul.
Diener over Diener, and a little extra.
There is no quit in this kid. Boy, the last thing you want to do when you're salting away a game, not only fouling, but fouling a three-point shooter. Unbelievable.
You know, we've talked about the family rivalry and playing against your cousin, how close these guys have been throughout their lives.
Can't get inside their heads, but it looked like there was a little something extra, a little, hey, I got you for the first time in my career at the end of that play.
There is no question about that. An announcement to the fans that don't throw anything onto the floor or you risk a technical foul.
And of course, every Marquette fan now acting as if they're going to throw something on the floor.
The fans are a great part of college basketball as you take a look at this outrageously good numbers by Travis Diener.
31. He misses this to try to get it back, but they can't. So 1.9 remaining in the game. Impressive win for the Blue Demons here at home. Not only breaking the streak in this rivalry, which is, of course, very important to your fans, and it helps in terms of building your program and having support, but also with the wins, the important wins they've had this year. You said some impressive losses too, Jay, and as you look ahead at the NCAA tournament, and Conference USA is certainly very solid this year. Everyone talking about how great the ACC is, and it is, no question. But this may be right there behind us.
Well, you talk about waking up the echoes. I know that's a Notre Dame saying, but some echoes are in this building as well from all the great players of the DePaul past, and they're trying to resurrect that feeling here, and this win will go a ways in doing that.
Yeah, they honored 3 of those players, Randy Ramsey, Terry Cummings, and Clyde Bradshaw at the half. So Ray Meyer watching as DePaul gets a big win. 84-78, your final score. For Jay Billis, I'm Terry Gannon. That's it for us here at Allstate Arena in Chicago. Let's send it to John and Digger back in our studio.
Welcome back to the studio. John Saunders and Digger Phelps. So Marquette, a week ago, they're riding high. They beat Louisville on the road. Now suddenly they're struggling, lose to DePaul this afternoon.
And they lost to TCU at home, so now they're in trouble. When you take a look at teams at larges as far as Conference USA, there's only one division this year, and they're starting to fade out at 4-5. DePaul right now is 6-3 in the conference.
Probably the most exciting game of the day was in the Pac-10, although it didn't look like it would end up that way early on. Arizona on the road to face Stanford. Last 8 meetings, road team had come up with the victory in this one. Nick Robinson, you see no time on the clock as he releases it. Back-to-back steals at the end of the game allowed Stanford to come back, surviving a 19-3 run by Arizona.
Yeah, the first turnover, Josh Childress ends up with the ball, makes the 3 to tie it at 77, and now the second turnover leads to Nick Robinson making this big 3. Stanford still unbeaten after being up 13 in the first half. Wow, what a run by Arizona to go up 5, actually 72-67 after a 21-4 run in the second half.
St. Joe's also remains unbeaten, the only other team, and they very well could run through the Atlantic 10. 89-63 is the final as they chase the #1 seed. Although keep in mind for St. Joseph's that their conference is ranked #9 in the RPI. Here's the remaining schedule for both teams. Can they make it?
Well, when you look at Cal, that's a big rivalry for Stanford. They're going to smell it and try to make it happen when they play next weekend on the road. When you go down south, you know how it is at Southern Cal UCLA. But there's a game missing from St. Joe's. They still have to play Temple in the Flestra on the 21st, and making 23s last week to beat them. It's not going to go again this week. I think Temple's going to surprise you when you play St. Joe in the Flestra.
Temple.
Yeah.
Put the pressure on them to come up.
The Owl can get the Hawk.
All right, it's that way every single year. And again, in this one, the one you watched, DePaul comes up a winner over Marquette.
A date which will live in infamy. Sunday, 7/6 Central.
Langford picks up the foul. He's second. Teams first. And look at the starting guards. Jackson and Ross have not scored. But, again, when you have a player like Andre Emmett, you have to find guys who complement him. Mikey Marshall came in at 6 points. Josh Washington off the bench had 8. Different players stepping up for Bobby Knight's ball club. Giles gets that one to go. He was the one called with the foul just a moment ago down at the other end when Langford had the 3-point play. And he gets that one as well. So 8 points for Giles. 7-point Jayhawk lead. And it's going to be Mikey Marshall, I believe, who will reach in. And
Giles looked at him and said, you know, don't reach and help. I think he had him. He was making Paget go to his right shoulder, left hand, make him turn that way.
Paget knocks down the first one. So the first foul on Mikey Marshall. Second one, the freshman gets that one as well. Paget, son of a coach, and how many times have you seen this happen regardless of what school they play at? He is under control. He's poised. Plays the game. We'll talk. Just get his business taken care of. That's going to be a KU foul. Let's see if that's Miles. It's his third.
And 3 white jerseys hanging around Andre Emmett. And you can't stop him. I mean, you can hopefully hope he misses. 1, 2, 3, the double pump. He's got the ability again, the hang time. He can adjust the basketball. Miles upset with the call.
So Langford will go to the bench. And checking into the lineup is Michael Lee. At the other end, Paget. Does Miles see the floor? Boy, we've talked about it so many times. He sees that little opening. He is right there. I would love to have watched him play quarterback with that kind of vision, John.
Yep.
And touch. Emmett.
Emmett working on Giddens now. Giddens, a freshman, sometimes you get a little less than when you're playing a guy like Andre Emmett.
Well, he's got 20 points. The lob inside. Here we go. Little high-low. Wayne Simeon.
Tech's got to find a way to slow this Jayhawk team down so they can get this game maybe back to even.
Emmett strong to the hoop on the run. Couldn't get the kiss off the glass, and Simeon walks away with the rebound. Miles, who's going to pull up and shoot this one. Nobody open. I'm open. I'll hit it. That's his first bucket since the 2 threes to start the ballgame.
But again, he doesn't look for himself too many times.
Josh Washington close to a walk, but he did not travel. Mikey Marshall back out in the wing. Jarius Jackson not there. Jackson still has not scored. And Jackson couldn't get that one. Simeon still another rebound.
Almost made it a tougher shot because he even got closer to Paget, allowed the 7-footer to come out and get a hand up in front of his face.
Lee. Largest lead of the afternoon. 14-point Jayhawk margin. Inside, and the foul is going to be against Paget.
Boy, Michael Lee is just one of those solid ball players. Does everything well.
Second foul on Paget. Third team foul on the Jayhawks. By the way, for Wayne Simeon, another double-double. 11 points, or 12 points, and 11 rebounds.
He averages 19 points a game in this building. Likes to play at home, has struggled a couple times on the road.
I want to remind you of something. The first time we did him, he was a freshman. Yeah. Wake Forest was in here. He played limited minutes, and he had a double-double to his very first outing here.
I remember it well. The fans were happy.
Yeah.
The local one. Stayed in his home state to play. Leavenworth, Kansas, not too far away.
The Paget will go to the bench and get a breather. He is really winded. And Jeff Graves will come in replacing him. Ball on the floor, stolen by Emmett. And Emmett, they got number 3 on 1. He'll dish it off in the wing, and Jackson walked. They didn't give a call. And Emmett gets the ball back, and he'll kiss it off the glass. And there is his average per ball game.
It wasn't a textbook 3-on-1, but it finally went in the basket.
Jeff Graves blocked inside. Great job by Giles. And we have a whistle, and a foul is going to be called on Mikey Marshall.
That's interesting. I thought Marshall just hit the ball up the floor. I mean, there was no control of the ball, was there?
I didn't think there was, John.
They collided, how do you pick out which guy to do the foul to?
Well, Coach Knight is up with his hands on his hips.
But, you know, the ball's out on the floor, both guys going. I thought Marshall just kind of knocked it ahead.
3.
Penetration and the kick by Miles right on the money. Josh Washington against Graves, and Graves will pick up the foul. That's going to be number 3 on him. How about Josh Washington? The minutes he has given his ball club. He only had 14 total points in conference play coming into this afternoon. But he's got 6 today, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And I mean, you got a situation where Ross has not scored. You know, Washington had a couple ball games late in December at 12 points against Sam Houston State, and then 13 against Iowa a long time ago. Been solid this afternoon. Well, he's now in double figures. That gives him 10. 3 of 4 from the field. We often talk about a supporting cast, and around Andre Emmett, the nice thing for Bobby Knight, there have been enough different players to step out on different afternoons or nights and play well. Miles out of control, lost it. Here's Emmett. Josh Washington slapping his hands together, saying, hey, I feel it. He walked, and that ball wouldn't go. Touch last by Texas Tech, by Mikey Marshall. Well, he felt it, but Washington still has to move the ball. I mean, you've still got to let your best player get a touch. So we'll take a timeout. Aaron Miles doing it both in the scoring department and also assists.
They did it! Points, 3 assists in the last 5 possessions, gives him 5 on the game, and watch the burst of speed. You attack. If he doesn't have a layup, you pitch it out. Target practice for teammates.
And you know, John will give you the individuals in just a moment, but Kansas very close to having all 5 starters in double figures. Paget, skip pass, gets it back out to Miles. That's for 3, and it wouldn't go. Emmett will come away with the rebound. Good ball movement. Pacing on the offensive end. Emmett now with his 6th rebound to go with 22 points. Looks like a box and 1. You're going to shadow Andre Emmett. All you do is come off screens, keep moving, you'll get your shots. Nobody blocking out Giles. I'll tell you what, Giles is very active around the rim. He really attacks that offensive glass. He's done a nice job for the Red Raiders this year. Foul is on Lee, his first. And that is the 5th team foul in the second half here on the Jayhawks.
You know, Giles played his junior college ball not too far from here, down in Liberal, Kansas. Community College.
Andre Emmett with the turnover. That's only 5 turnovers against the Red Raiders. And John, we commented at halftime they had 4. 3 of those came very early.
Yeah, very early in their first few possessions.
So it's the first one of the second half. Nice step back. Paget unlucky on that one. He's had a couple here recently to win in and out. The bouncer, boy, that's going to go. They're going to call steps. Oh, boy.
I mean, he got steps because he got nailed. I was just wondering if they were going to count the basket.
Well, those
he turned around and got just
he didn't get called for travel. He got called for staggering after he got hit.
My goodness, he caught the ball. Watch this. He catches. Boom. Yeah, you'll travel maybe after that.
Oh, called for a stagger. 11-point lead inside to Simeon. Ball is knocked away. Giles got a hand in there and bumped it away. Quick pass back to Giles, and Paget picks up the foul. That's going to be number 3 on Paget, and he will join Langford and Graves with 3 violations each.
Tech doing a nice job of, at times, Ron, ball faking the perimeter pass and then pounding it right inside, whether it's Emmett coming through, Giles the last couple times down.
Here's the individual scoring, John. 8 for Langford, Simeon with 12, Paget with 12,